Boo! Alright. Good morning, guys. Good mornings. Yeah. Yoshi, Skitty, Aki. Good to see you guys. You guys are up late? I should be asking you the question. Do you guys ever sleep? Anyway, let me just swap out the music here. Hold on a second. Just swap the cam here. There we go. And let's put on some more suited background music. Alright. Ugh. Yeah, I was gonna say, what time zone? Hey, aren't you in Canada, Yoshi? Or am I mistaken about that? Do I mix you up with someone else? But yeah, you're always hanging out with the, me, Kylie, Kylo, Angel, and Aki. So yeah, you're awake pretty much all day it seems, and night. And Skitty, sleep isn't a priority for me. Well, if you're recovering from COVID, maybe you should try to prioritize sleep a little bit. But yeah, I just woke up. I was laying in bed, I was watching Kylie's Kylioki stream, and I fell asleep. Not sure when I fell asleep. I do remember her singing Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die and some other songs, but then I kind of passed out. Your place looks like so much fun. Well, thank you, appreciate that. But yeah, I'm here with my breakfast, so I have my, bowl of cereal right here. Banana. My vitamin gummies. I like to have these little vitamin gummy bears, And of course, my cup of coffee. So yeah, I just got out of bed like 20 minutes ago. Got up, turned my PC back on, set my stream up. I don't know, I just decided I want to do something different. I just felt like streaming in the morning. I didn't really have much of a plan, so I figured I just kind of want to, talk about stuff, watch some stuff, because there's some YouTube videos I want to share with you guys. And Dome's an adult. Yes, I'm being an adult. Feels like an adult. Up, before 12 p.m. Having a healthy breakfast. Well, healthy, but, it's a breakfast. But yeah, I did, change my place up a little bit. I did some light cleaning. So, now you can see in the background there, I got some of my plushies right there. That's Domo-kun. And, my Mario and Luigi plushie, my Wind Waker Link plushie, and, Cyndaquil. That one I bought in a store here in Norway. But, I do have this Pikachu that I ordered from, a Poke Center in Japan. So this is an authentic Poke Center Pikachu plushie. I still have like the tag on with the Japanese on it and everything. And it's yeah, cute, isn't it? And yeah, Yoshi, we got the boobas in the background. Oh. Oh shit, that was weird sound. Sorry about that. Ooh, I hope I didn't break anything in my boom arm here. It just made a really awkward sound when I leaned it down. Looks like the old fat... Yeah, the old chubby Pikachu when he was just a sphere. And hey, good afternoon, evening, Aeonix. Good to see you, good to see you. And yeah, my TV is turned on. That, I always get a little, something pleasant to watch over there. But yeah, ooh. So, yeah, it's Sunday, and I am planning on making a schedule for next week. I'm gonna return to my schedule now. I've, been off the streaming schedule all of July, mostly because of all the things happening. But I want to get back into it now. So later tonight, I'm going to put up a schedule for the all of next week, and I'm going to try to stick with it. And also, I kind of want to do this Sunday thing. I figured, a cozy Sunday morning stream where I just like talk about the week and you know what's happened. Might be a nice little change. Evening, it's 6:30 p.m. Ah yes, you Aussies, you are enjoying the future. Oh. Yeah, what have you been up to, Aeonix? Yeah, exactly. I want to talk about, the music festival on Friday. It was pretty amazing. It was, you know, it was good to see that we can finally have some big arrangement like that again after COVID. So it's like the first time in basically 3 years I've been able to go out on a festival. So I enjoyed it a lot, and there was a lot of people there. I think there were about 6,000 people came that evening. And the park area was kind of... They anticipated between 4,000 and 5,000, so, you know, there were more people than expected. But the music was great. There was a lot of, like... The focus of this music festival is, like, Norwegian artists. So there was a lot of Norwegian artists that had their breakthrough during the 80s and 90s. But also some that had, like, their breakthrough in the early 2000s. Which is, like, the band I was most... looking forward to. And that was Madrugada. I actually linked a video of them in the Discord. And hold on, let me just a little piece of my stereo. But it was great. And I got way too drunk. Despite the festival beer prices. I think it was like, let me just quickly check. Yeah, it was about $13 per beer. And I still drank way too much. And also... So, not only did I get shit drunk, they had like these different like food stands. And the food stand I decided to go to was like this Thai place. And they had like this combo meal where you got like a nice big bowl about this size of fried chicken, and you got a spring roll and a chicken skewer. So I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll take that. And you know, I ate that, and that was like the last thing I did. I ate it like before the main band came on. And then, you know, I was feeling okay, I was feeling drunk as shit. And when the whole thing was finally over, I had to walk home because I didn't have a ride. So, you know, I was following this pack of drunk people because everyone left at the same time. And it's like only one way out of the park and through this neighborhood. I actually walked through there on my IRL stream a few weeks back or a month back. When I went up the top of that mountain, if any of you guys watched that. That was like the area, the valley area where the concert was. Anyway, so, you know, I walked home that evening. I felt fine. I got home, still feeling quite the buzz of the alcohol. And, you know, I figured I'll just chill. But then suddenly I started feeling like really, like, sick in the stomach. Like, not... It's kind of hard to explain, but not like the drunk sick in your stomach. But just weird in the stomach. And, yeah, I just had to go to the bathroom. No, I had first to just grab a bucket that I had in the kitchen, and I just emptied my guts in that bucket, and then I had to walk into the bathroom and just empty it there, and yeah, clean it up. It was a mess, but it was so weird because I just threw up, and it's like, okay, and then I didn't feel anything else after that. And when I woke up the next day, yeah, my body was, you know, kind of tired, but I didn't have enough headache or the usual hungover issue. And yes, I'm wondering if there was something weird with that Thai food. Because, you know, I was shit drunk. I managed to drink like... We were there for 7 hours. We arrived at like 5 p.m. and the festival ended at 12 a.m. And I made sure I drank, you know. I didn't just chug down. I just made sure I had, you know... I took myself... It took me like 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And there in start to empty one beer, and then I, you know, increase the frequency. But I also made sure to have water and stuff like that along the way. and some pizza slices earlier. So yeah, I just feel like it was Thai food. Some light food poisoning. But yeah, it was a good time though, overall. As if we're throwing up. And I was really concerned about getting sick because yesterday I had dinner plans with some other friends of mine. Well, one of my friends also attended the festival, but 2 other buddies. So we went to this like fancy steakhouse in town, and I ordered a man, what did I order? And pending. Hello, good morning or good evening to you. Yeah, it's morning for me. I'm just sitting here enjoying my breakfast while talking to you guys, talking about the weekend. But yeah, so yesterday evening I was at like this fancy steakhouse place here in town, and man, it's been a while since I had a good steak. It was like a nice big cut too. It was pricey, but I figured since I don't go out that often, I might as well, you know, spoil myself a little bit. So yeah. That was an awesome dinner. It was like a nice cut of steak. I need to find out what the sauce was. It was a special sauce. And it had sweet potato fries as with it, along with it. Let's see. It's not 4:30 a.m. Ooh. You know, that's about the time I think I fell asleep yesterday. And now it's 10:30, so I've actually had less than 6 hours sleep. When is the next field trip? Yeah, I've been thinking about it. The thing is though, the weather in Norway hasn't been that good lately. It's been, with exception like a couple of really hot days. That's been too hot. The rest of the day is like cloudy and rainy. Best, but you don't succeed. Hey, pending, you got that second? Well, you tried. And Nerdy, good morning to you. Good morning. But yeah, let's see. Oh, they don't really have a picture of it, but you know, I can show you here right quickly. Just bring it up. This is like the website, and you see they like to style up their steak and make the meals look super fancy. Slakter Sørensens, which basically means Butcher Sørensen. And yes, you do have a honk. It didn't work. Hold on. You guys didn't hear the honk? Wait. And thank you for the hydrate. I'll just drink my cup of coffee. But yeah, so how's your evening been pending? Coffee is not hydration. It is for me. Yeah, you guys didn't get the sound from the honk? It should have played when you used that emote. Let me double check. There, it played. I heard it. It worked. It's been good. Been thinking about dumb D&D ideas. Hey, there's no such thing as a dumb D&D idea. Here's a stressful session. Ooh, what happened? There we, yeah. The honk is alive. I was probably just talking over. Yep, it's working. It's working. And, you know, and you also have like, the clap one from last time. They're really enthusiastic clapping. But yeah, this is oh, but yeah, this is my issue right now. I am so tempted to buy a new PC. Let me show you guys. Let me show you. It's a pre-built one, but you know, with prices these days, it's not easy to just get the parts to build one yourself. In fact, it's cheaper to just buy a pre-built one. But look at this PC right here. It's an i7 12700K, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, and RTX 3080. Now the price is set to like 26,000 Norwegian krona, which is about, let me just quickly look at that. Thanks. So yeah, almost 270 US dollars, as you can see. But it's sold out. But they have one outlet version, which basically means a display model. It's like been taken out of the box. It's been, you know, displayed in the shop for 22 Norwegian kronas, which is like, yeah, 227 US dollars. For, you know, an i7, 12700K, and all that. It's like close to 4K dollar reduce for that. Aussie money. That is pricey. Yeah, well, in Norway, this is kind of like this is about as good as a deal I can get, I think, for a computer like this. And they do have like different variation of it. They have one that's like a non-K model, and it has like an air cooler instead of the water cooler. So this is like a regular i7 12700, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, but it has a 2 terabyte M.2 SSD and also an RTX 3080. And I'm just like, yeah, should I buy it? I mean, I know AMD Ryzen will be having new CPUs coming out this autumn, but it's like, the Intel 12th gen is pretty damn good. And also like, okay, a 3080 RTX. Yes, the 4080 might come out later this year, but how available is it gonna be? It's really tempting. Yeah, the AM5, like, it's like, yeah, but how much more expensive is that gonna be compared to these computers right now? I don't see the prices. I don't see it being any cheaper than this. It's like, because this is like the price range I kind of want to settle for, between 20 and 25, or in this case 26 Norwegian crowns. If I get it for less than 25, I'll be happy. Just to see if it's worth getting, otherwise I'll get an AM4 as my upgrade. Yeah, I understand. The Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 500 series, or 5000 series, pretty damn good too. I need a better shelf for my PC eventually though. Oh yeah, I actually kind of like the design on these. They look pretty neat. And hey, Course Creator, good morning, good morning. I think it was the, let's see, was it the... That's why I think like the K version is a pretty nice deal, especially because it's outlet. Because I'll get the same 5-year warranty as I would if I bought a brand new one. And they can have it delivered to me in like 3 to 4 days. Which means if I order it now, it'll probably arrive on Thursday or Friday. Which is And I just like how this cabinet or chasing looks. We can just get your SSD and hard drives in and out easily. Eyeing off that 500 no 5800X 3D. Yeah. Those 3D stacked cache, isn't that what the thing is about those? It looks pretty insane. I'm pretty stoked for that one, actually. Yeah, because, you know, my PC at the moment is a... it's like, it's old. It's 8 years old now. It's on a i7 5820K that I bought in, like, September 2014. And, you know, I haven't only thing I upgraded is like my M.2 and graphic cards. So I do run a 1070 Ti. Yeah. I mean, the CPU has been doing well. I mean, it still plays my games. I am noticing some struggling when I'm trying to stream and play like anything less, I would say, mid-tier demanding games. I am noticing that it's definitely starting to show its age. But it's been a damn good computer and CPU up until now. So yeah, I'm just I got an 8700K, but I tried loading some 3D game dev stuff, and I was definitely starting to feel the CPU bottleneck. Yeah. And you know, especially like this gen with the Intel, it's, you know, it's such a performance beast that this would be like such a huge leap in performance for me. And I want to get a PC that can do VR gaming. I want to get into that. I want to get into the VR stuff. Box Ghost knows the specs from my PC build. He built it for me. Oh, nice. I no clue what it has in it. Ah, well, you know, as long as the PC is doing its job, and that's the most important bit. VR is definitely good fun. Yeah, and you know, but yes, I've been looking at some PC gaming PCs. And if you're wondering why this website looks kind of scuffed with like the white background and all the images, it's because I'm using this dark reader, so it forces like a dark mode on websites that don't usually have it. This is what the website usually looks like if I turn it off. It's like, oh, my eyes. Like, why doesn't website just have a dark mode? Please, just add a dark mode. Whatever you do, I don't want to have my eyes blasted. If you get a headset, let me know. I'll play some Beat Saber with you. Yeah, Beat Saber is one of the games I definitely want to play on VR. I've been wanting that for so long. VR is fun, but makes me motion sick. Yeah, I've heard that. I remember when I worked as a 3D designer back in 2014. Again, 8 years ago. So we're talking 8 years of VR development. We had an Oculus Rift 2. And that was like the latest model at the time. And yeah, the resolution was pretty low res, so you can definitely feel the motion sickness. But with the newer VR headsets, the resolution is much higher, and also the FPS, right? They are now running at like 90 to 120 hertz, or I mean 120 FPS. Isn't that correct, Ionix? You have one? So I think that should help with the motion sickness, where you don't have this low-res choppy image you're trying to, you know, move around and look around in. You got a Cosmos Elite. It runs at 90. Yeah, 90 must be pretty smooth. Let's see. We can include the yeah, 3080 should be more than enough. Where's the CPU? i7. And then we can sort by price. So this store, you can't see the name. Elköp. They have like a store location just 20 minutes away from my apartment. So if I can find a PC they have in stock, I could just go out there and pick it up. But most likely I'll have to have them send it to me. You got sick because the camera movement in Detroit become human. Oh, yeah, my sister, she struggles with that too. She is super sensitive to motion in video games. She can't play any modern 3D games. So she just plays 2D and retro games. Ritz, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? How has your weekend been? Let's do a field trip to pick up your PC. Yeah, I would do that. Honestly, that would be awesome. I just have to call my dad and ask if I can borrow his car so I can just drive out there. I don't want to sit on a bus on public transport with a PC to 25, 26 Norwegian crowns. That I'm not doing that. Even though I don't doubt anything would happen, since it's, you know, it's safe here, but still, it just feels so awkward sitting there with expensive as hell PC. I'm considering upgrading to an Index, but I don't know if Valve are going to announce a new headset. Right, yeah. Yeah, so I figure, you know, if I buy a new PC now, I won't be able to afford a VR headset for a while. Probably until like later this autumn, closer to winter. So maybe by then they release something new. Very good. Red's addicted to a game called Foxhole once again. No, Foxhole Onek. Or I meant you meant once again. So been playing that non-stop. Ah, well, I hope you've been having fun, Ritz. If there was an option to turn off the camera, Bob, I would be fine. Really? Yeah, because I know in most games where there's like a camera bob whenever your character's moving, they do have an option to turn that off. So that's a weird design choice. Yeah, so this is a similar one. It's an i7K 12th gen. But this only has 16 gigabytes of RAM. Is it DDR5? That's like the most important bit. No, this is DDR4 memory. Ooh, I don't want that. And it's more pricey than the this one? Because this got 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory and a 2 terabyte M.2. Huh. This is like the 11th gen, so I don't want that. I kind of hate this website in the sense that there's such a bad filter. Because, yeah, I can select... Yeah, I want an i7, but they won't let me select which gen. Yeah, no, I don't think it's bad, but look at the price range. It's not that much cheaper for an 11th gen. Compared to, like, the 12th gens. Like, here's a 12th gen one, right? And this one is more expensive than this. And it's still like an RTX 3080, 16 gigabyte DDR4, and 1 terabyte M.2. It's a 12th gen, DDR5 memory, and also a 1 terabyte M.2. Anyway, it's 5 AM and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go to get like a responsible adult, a good stream and a good day. I leave with a honk. Ah, didn't play again. Maybe we need to trying to get the emote, the honk emote. I think that's what triggers it. Yes, the honk emote triggers it. But yeah, have you a good night, Pending Fate. Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate that. So yeah, you get some good sleep and rest. So yeah, here we have an... so this is a 12th gen. It's a 12700F processor. 3080, but it's DDR4 memory. It's 22,000 Norwegian crowns. And that's the options they have. So actually, yeah, the best bang for buck is the one that is on outlet PC. Because that is the K processor. With 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. And it's 22K. No idea on what currency. It's Norwegian crowns. Basically, I think if you take it to British pound. Yeah. So this PC is 186 British pound. No, wait, that's way cheap. Oh, I lost a zero there. What the fuck? That's way too... There we go. That's more right. Yeah, I was lacking a zero. Yeah, 1868 British pound for this PC. Yeah, man, if it's 186, I'm like, wait a second, that's not... That's a deal! Oh man, I would have loved it if there was a error in the pricing on the site. If it just said 2,200 something. Because by Norwegian law, even if it is an error, and I order it, they have to give it to me for that price. That would have been such a deal. Oh my god. Yeah. So if you see like if something is priced wrong, and that you know, faulty price is cheaper than what it's supposed to be, the retailer has no right to demand that you pay the additional cost. No, you get it at the price that you see it marketed as. But yeah, it's like they have one left, and they can send it to me. It's like, oh. I am so tempted. Some retailers will cancel your stuff though. Yeah, some retailers, they try to do that here too. They like try to make some excuse. But then all you need to do is contact the consumer authorities. And usually they will force them to go through with the sale. But you know, it can be a bit of a hassle and it takes a couple of weeks before you get a reply. So they just try to they just hope that people won't go through them. But you know, for this kind of stuff, I would definitely take the 3 to 4 week wait from the consumer authorities to to pull through for me. But yeah, I'm so tempted because I really want a new computer. I really do. Because you know, if I get this computer, I'll have that for another 8 years. So you know, I won't be getting a new computer until I'm like, you know, touching them 40s age-wise. Because I've had the computer I have now through most of my 20s, so there's no need to upgrade every year, or not every year, but every 4 years anymore. Which is what I used to do when I was a teen. You gotta email gamers.jp? Oh, really? About what? Do tell me. I'm curious. I'm curious. That hurt. If I have this computer, I'll have it for Another 8 years. It's like, yeah, I used to upgrade my computers like every 4 or 5 years. But once after I built this one I have now, there just hasn't really been a need for that. I'm not long upgrading mine, but just GPU left now to upgrade. Ah, yeah. A lot of people have built like new computers, but they've been unable to get their hands on a GPU, so they still use like their old GPU and yeah. There you go. I just drink my coffee before it gets cold. But yeah, oh. I want to buy it so badly. I'm just sitting here. I just want to... Yeah, I'm not logged in. So, you know, my address and everything isn't on here. So, you know, I'm not going to dox myself by logging in right now. But damn. And then it's like, they even have like this, you know, I can split the payment. You know, buy it on credit. I'll pay 1,500 a month for 19 months. It's a 15% interest rate though, so the total price would be 29k. Ooh. Okay, you messed up pre-order of Gunvolt 3 with the bonus Yabai tapestry. Oh, so you want to make sure you get the right order, right? Yeah, you gotta sort that out. I say reason, but now I think of it, COVID time traveled me as it's possibly like 3 years or so ago now. Hey, a 3-year-old computer is not bad, you know? That's like 2019. 2019 hardware is still pretty good. So part of me thinks I should just collect a refund and see if I can find the tapestry on Manda or something separately without the game. Integrates have been putting up some good ones for Galgun and Gunvolt. Oh, Galgun, man. I remember I played that on my birthday stream like a year ago. Man, that was kind of interesting. Do you not build your own then? I used to. Like the one I have right now is like down there. It's like self-built. But with prices on hardware being what it is, it's much cheaper to get a pre-built because it uses OEM parts than to buy the parts separately. If I want to build this computer or buy the individual parts for this, I'm not gonna get it for 22k. That's gonna be like a 27, 28k we're looking at. Like just the GPU itself is like at least 12, 15k. So, you know, it's no longer, you know, financially, what can I say, financially advantageous to build your own compared to just buying a pre-built. You know, if I get the pre-built, I'll have like 5 years warranty. If anything breaks, I can just take it right out to the shop and they'll fix it up for me. Because yeah, we have like a 5-year warranty right here in Norway. So if anything just breaks or goes wrong within 5 years, then whatever chain or store you bought it from are required to repair it or replace it. So we got some pretty juicy consumer rights laws here in the country. Hey, good morning, Proppy. Good morning. Hey, how you doing? It was a great dinner yesterday. I'm just sitting here looking at a new computer. I'm just so tempted to buy it. You know, break myself, destroy my income, my financial stability. Send myself into financial ruin for a new PC. I really want to make a day for non-Saizo games so I can stream Galgun and No More Heroes. Oh my god, No More Heroes. I got the 2 first games on the Wii. And I haven't gotten the 3rd one yet, but I really want to buy it. I loved Travis Touchdown. He was just like, you know, yep, that's my boy. But yeah, this also reminds me, I set this up recently. Have you guys heard of Throne? Now, I don't expect anything from it. It's just like, I got an invite, and I can bring it up here. All 4 games are now on Switch 2. No More Heroes. Wait, all the No More Hero games are on Switch now? Really? I didn't know that. I heard it's a bit expensive to use. No, they just enabled Norway. Like, Norway just became a country that you can order from recently. So because I signed up for a while back, but then Norway wasn't available. It had Sweden though. But yeah, I can show it here. Cause I set it up. Now I don't expect anything from it, but this is like the stuff I just want to try it. So yeah, the thing is, you don't buy, because the way this works is that you can get people to buy stuff for you, and you can have it sent to you anonymously. That's just if people want to gift stuff to you. The way it works in Norway is that they won't buy and send you the thing. Instead, you'll just get the payout, which means I'll just get the money to my account, so I can actually buy the thing myself from these stores, because, you know, Norwegian stores. Paying for import fees with own. Yeah, that's the thing though, but I don't see they just give payout. So it's like, because this is like a Norwegian store, right? If I click on this, I've added this from a Norwegian store, so I'll be ordering it. I'll get the payout, and then I'll order it from a shop in Norway. So it's not like this had to be bought through Amazon, and then you have to pay the customs and, you know, everything to have it sent from the US to Norway. Because, yeah, that would be shit expensive. So, yeah, all of these I've added through Norwegian sites. Can I see the link? Yeah, scandinavianphoto.no. This is a Norwegian website. And same with this. This is also from a Norwegian website. Next thing you know, the Dome will be starting OnlyFans. Yeah, I need some new computer gear. No, not really. This is like the things I want for a while. I'm just gonna save up for it myself. But especially like XLR microphone setup, I want that. So yeah, I think that this is the best way to handle it when it comes to like getting money. You don't have them directly buy it to you. You just get the money and you can buy it yourself from whatever store. So this is like, I want a wireless Logitech G950. It's my friend has this keyboard and it's amazing. It's a wireless mechanical keyboard. And yeah, I want all my stuff to be wireless. So I also want to have a wireless mouse. So I want the G703. Which is basically the wireless version of the one I have right here, which is the G403. This is seriously the most comfortable computer mouse I've ever used. It fits perfectly in my hand, it's responsive, it's been amazing. I had it for like 5 years now, and it still works as new. I love it. Logitech has never let me down. Same with the keyboard. I got on Logitech, I think it's it's an Orion? No, it's a G810. So I had this for like 5-6 years too. But yeah, we should definitely tell Freya about this. I don't know if she's live now though, but if she is, you can tell her. Because I got it set up. And yeah, this is pretty cool. But yeah, this is like the microphone I've been wanting for a while now. The Shure. So I see a lot of streamers have the Shure SM7B, which costs like $350 US. This one is like a little brother, and it's half the price, but like sound quality wise, it's not that much of a difference. So I figured this one will be the best bang for a buck. But this is the expensive part. This is the expensive one, the Go XLR. That's almost $500 for the sound mixer. That's the pricey stuff. But yeah, so I have my throne set up. As I said, I'm not expecting anything from it. It's just fun to try it out. I'm annoyed with my mouse. It's a SteelSeries one, and the RGB doesn't work. As in it doesn't bloody turn off. Ooh. Yeah, I can turn off my the RGB on my... I just have it like to set to pulsate. It's all synced up, so my keyboard and mouse like pulsating or circling through the various colors in sync. I think that's, you know, that's pretty neat. I usually, yeah, you know, I've been using Logitech for like ever since I was a teen, basically. I mean, I can actually go and grab something. Hold on. You got an offer? Hey, if it was a, you know, bargain deal, then go for it. You'll probably get there before I do. I have to rest up for a drive for a friend's birthday thing in the city today. Oh, I see, Aki. Yeah. You're gonna get that rest. Yeah, I'll probably talk to Freya if I see her live and drop by her stream. But yeah, let me just go and get something, you guys, real quick. Also, let me get those vitamin bunny gummies down. Be right back real quick. Oh, alright, I'm back. But yeah. That screensaver. Yeah, enjoying the view. Isn't she nice? But yeah, so any of you guys, if you were gaming on PC back in like the early 2000s, any of you recognize... Let me just put get the browser off. Any of you guys recognize this bad boy? This was like my favorite gaming mice back in the day. I think I used this for like almost 15 years. It still works. Yeah, I used this for primarily as my gaming mice until I got the one I had right here. I always came back to this one, even though I had like different mice in between. This the MX518. This was a legendary gaming mouse back in the day. You know, it's still pretty decent. Got some weird sticky stuff on it. I guess it's been lying. I don't know why. It's lying on something weird. Probably have to clean it off. Yeah, I know it sounds really suspicious when you know the peripherals of some lonely geek is all sticky and gooey. But I swear, it's not what you think it is. At least I don't think so. Yeah. Let me just leave that over there. But yeah. There was something else I wanted to do now then, early on. Ooh. Yeah, I'm still eyeballing this. I'm just gonna leave the tab open, you know, we'll just see what happens later on today. But yeah, one thing I wanted to do was also watch some YouTube videos. Cause there's a YouTube video that just came out. 40 minutes long. But yeah, it's about one of my favorite Mario Kart games, Double Dash. And it's talking about the hidden shortcuts. So I want to watch this video. Let me just pause the background music. And yeah, let's just open this one up. I just took 2 minutes in just to take a quick look at the intro, what kind of video it would be. But yeah, let's watch this one. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's see. Homer for Taco Kart? Well, you know, we don't play Double Dash. Oh, but it would be awesome to, but I know it's a lot of setup, to set up the Dolphin emulator to work online and play Double Dash with online multiplayer. That would be sick. Because this is one of my favorite Mario Kart games, and you know, I would love to see a return of the like, you know, the duo racer. But wait a second, I'm just gonna open my window a little bit more, because I am noticing it's getting a little bit hot in here, even though it's like cloudy and rainy outside. Okay, just open up both of my windows. I wish we could do online 16 player. Wait, people. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like you have to do with your like your own community. It's not like people can easily just, you know, come by your stream and jump in, because you need to have like Dolphin everything set up correctly in order to get it to work. So it's like more hassle than I guess it's worth. Unless you like plan it way in advance, so the entire, you know, community has time to set up their emulator. And, you know, then it's like, do people have a powerful enough PC to run it, and etc. etc. So, you know, it's a hassle. Let's see. You know what? Let's just do it like this.
This is Mario Kart Double Dash, and for a decade and a half, it was known as one of the most polished games in the Mario Kart franchise. Most entries in the series are loaded with game-breaking shortcuts. 64 is famous for its large skips. Wii has a faulty checkpoint system. Super Circuit is perhaps more broken than any other. These games all have healthy time trial competition, and both non-shortcut and shortcut world records that have been tracked for...
Let's see here. Have you? Yeah. So there's like a HDMI cable that just goes from my TV all the way around my living room, along the floor, along the wall, and up to my computer. So I think I have like a 15-meter HDMI cable. Oh wait. So it's like a... Someone actually made a Mario Kart Double Dash Online with a real GameCube or Wii. You need either a GameCube with a broadband adapter or a modded Wii running Nintendo. Okay, yeah. So it's a lot of you know, it's still a setup. It's not as easy as just, you know, yeah, just start the game and you jump in and join in. So, you know, I know it's possible, but it's still more
for many years. But
more hassle than
there's Mario Kart Double Dash.
The average, you know,
immediately
viewer
upon its
go
release
through.
In 2003, a shortcut was found on Waluigi Stadium. And for the next 15 years, that was it. Double Dash has always had a competitive time trial scene, but it's been nearly exclusively non-shortcut racing. With one exception, the developers had managed to create a shortcut-free game. For years, Double Dash's speedrun scene grew, as players mastered its racing mechanics and optimized non-shortcut races. But all of a sudden, in 2018, Double Dash's reputation as a shortcut-free game was put on its head. A game that was almost completely void of any glitches quickly became one of the most broken in the franchise. This is the story of the Mario Kart Double Dash Shortcut Revolution.
Yeah, this game was amazing. It's kind of fun to see how long this game was like considered to be without any shortcuts, and now people have just broken it completely.
First off, what is a shortcut? Well, to count as an official shortcut in the Mario Kart time trial community, it not only has to save time, but also be unintended by the developers. For instance, the jump at the start of Yoshi's Circuit doesn't count as a shortcut, since it was intentionally built into the course. Double Dash came out in November 2003. We don't know who discovered it, and it's unknown
20
exactly
years ago.
when it was
Almost
found,
20 years
but
ago.
by the end of 2003, a shortcut had been discovered. And for the next 15 years, it would remain the only shortcut in the game. This is Waluigi Stadium. About 2/3 of the way through a lap, you can drive off this slope and hit into the fence with enough speed to get thrown into the air. If you make it high enough, Lakitu thinks you fell off from this bridge, which is right before the finish line, so he picks you up and places you down there. It saves just under 2 seconds per lap and can be performed on all 3 laps. While it's unclear exactly when this trick was discovered,
Not a big
it's known
shortcut.
to have existed within a month and a half of the game's release.
I'm using the free Wi-Fi
And
from the
quickly,
back rooms.
There was
Hello,
discussion on the
Dachi.
Double Dash forums
morning, good
over
morning.
whether or not shortcut times should be put on the website. Ultimately, the community decided that since the shortcut was one of a kind, it wouldn't be tracked on the website. So, the players page contained a space for non-shortcut records on every
How are you
track,
doing today?
but nothing for Waluigi Stadium shortcut.
Just having a chill,
Still, some players chose to drive shortcut
just chatting
races
section.
anyway. Records began to be set in
And
December
I'm watching this
2003, but video proof was much less strict back
Video
then.
about breaking
Even
Super
more
Mario
so
Double
for
Dash
an
with
unofficial
shortcuts.
category not on the main website. However,
Yes,
one
we are.
3-lap video from back then still exists. A run from 2004 by Ipusen, and yep, it looks like it's from 2004 alright. The biggest strategy he used was executing frequent mini-turbos. By starting a drift with R, moving the stick in the opposite direction and back to neutral twice, and then releasing R, you get a short boost of speed. Mini-turbos are key to getting fast times, and Ipusen performed them constantly through his 3 laps. He also did the shortcut on the right slope instead of the left, which was slower but likely a bit easier. The biggest driving technique discovered was A-Tech, first seen in runs from 2004 but expanded upon by JSX in February 2006. If you release accelerate
take notes,
between
guys.
mini
Take
turbos,
notes.
the cart sways back and forth less, saving fractions of a second as you're able to take straighter lines and more direct paths forward. Thanks to that and other small driving optimizations, the record still sees competition to this day, with the most recent world records being set in late June 2022. But it all started back in 2003. Double Dash was brand new. There was reason to believe that this shortcut was just the beginning, and that in a few short years, there would be skips all over. That's how it went for previous games in the franchise, and that appeared to be happening in Double Dash just the same. But instead, this game's history took a different path. Years passed, still no new shortcuts. The game's time trial scene grew bigger and bigger, and by the mid-2000s it was vibrant, with top players from all over the world. But other than the occasional Waluigi Stadium race, the competition was exclusively non-shortcut.
You watch a recording
The focus was on optimizing
or
every last
game capture from
millisecond of the
2003.
16 courses,
It's just
improving
pixels.
lines, performing more mini turbos, and implementing A-Tech. By 2008, Mario Kart Wii was released, and within months, that game had massive ultra shortcuts breaking its tracks. Mario Kart Double Dash, several years older, still had just one shortcut. The years continued to pass, and suddenly, 5 years turned into 10. Still, there was nothing new. Mario Kart Double Dash was an unbreakable game, and that's all there was to it. In over a decade of searching, absolutely nothing had been found. Well, okay, there was one thing. In Mario Kart Double Dash, courses are surrounded by invisible planes
you
that are
took the
nicknamed
quality you could
Lakitu
get.
zones. When you fall off a track and collide with one of these zones, that's Lakitu's cue to pick you up and drop you back on the track. But this system isn't perfect. Suppose you fall off and manage to not hit a Lakitu zone. What happens? Well, in that case, you've officially made it out of bounds, and Lakitu still picks you up, but he sets you back somewhere a bit different. No matter where you go out of bounds, Lakitu sets you just behind the finish line.
Damn.
Since you never hit a Lakitu zone, the game doesn't know where to put you, and sets you down right at the end of the course. Unfortunately, crossing the finish line doesn't count a lap.
Oh.
But at the very least, this did provide some intrigue. If players could somehow figure out a way to get a lap to count, warping straight to the finish line would save massive time. Out-of-bounds mechanics were discovered shortly after the game's release, but for many years it wasn't paid much attention. Despite its promising nature, the simple fact was that without getting the lap to count, it wasn't really a useful trick. But still, for the next 15 years, players wondered if maybe there was something that could be done with it. Some way that the lap could count and have a shortcut be discovered. And then 2018 came around. The champion of Mario Kart Double Dash at that point was named Goomba, and in August, he saw this random guy's video on Mario Kart.
There are broken shortcuts
and in it,
Wii and Mario Kart 8
that
and
game's
whatnot.
community figure out the checkpoint system and use it to break courses and create massive shortcuts. Meanwhile, in 15 years of Double Dash, its checkpoint system had yet to be solved. But was it possible? Could a lap count when most of the driving is skipped? Well, Goomba finally decided enough was enough. He began a deep dive into the inner workings of the game, attempting to figure out exactly what conditions had to be met for a lap to count. And over the course of several months, with the contributions of community members like
dedication.
John and Tarsa, Mario Kart Double Dash's code was cracked.
Checkpoint science.
There are 3 conditions that must be met for a lap to count in Mario Kart Double Dash. Condition 1. You must start the lap in Checkpoint 0, the first checkpoint on the map. Each course in the game is broken up into invisible checkpoints, which are used to help keep track of how far you've driven.
I gotta say, are most or just some shortcuts easy to find? I think people stumble across some shortcuts, accidentally and pretty quickly into. That's the way most of the earlier shortcuts were discovered in the Mario Kart games, and then they do some deep digging into the game code, the geometry or layout of the maps, and then they find more broken and complex shortcuts. And that's kind of what they had to do with Double Dash. Like, they really had to dig into the game to figure out what can be used as a shortcut. Because, it's taken 15 years to actually find some proper shortcuts in this game.
This condition is pretty straightforward. For a new lap to start, you must be touching the first checkpoint of the course. Condition 2. You must have credit for driving through every checkpoint.
Thanks for the lurk, nerdy. Appreciate that.
Checkpoint bit counters in the game keep track of whether or not you've touched any given checkpoint during a lap. If you haven't, it's set to 0, and if you have, it's set to 1. In order for a lap to count, every checkpoint must have a bit counter set to 1,
Ooh,
which
yeah.
would intuitively mean that you're not allowed to skip driving through any checkpoints. However, on Waluigi Stadium, you skip several when performing the shortcut. Why does the lap still count? Well,
good question.
that's because there's a workaround. If you hit a Lakitu zone and get picked up, you automatically get credit for every checkpoint between where you got picked up and where you were placed down. It's known as a lack hop, and is the only way around having to touch every single checkpoint. And finally, condition 3. Your race completion must be greater than your number of laps completed.
Alrighty, I got a lurk. Alright, Aki, thank you for hanging on. I appreciate that. So yeah, you have a good lurk and a good day, and have a safe drive later. And I hope you have fun at your friend's birthday party. I hope it will be a blast. I bet someone is still trying to figure out. Yes, Yoshi, for sure. They are always trying. They're always trying to grind it down.
Double Dash has an internal counter called race completion that starts at 0 and gradually increases as you drive around the course. Once you complete a lap, it hits 1 and then continues counting up again. The reason this matters is because of a failsafe the developers put into the game, the 50% rule. If your race completion ever jumps up by 50% or more, it rounds down and you lose credit for all you've driven through the lap. So if you go out of bounds 30% of the way through a track, then are warped to the finish line, your race completion is set to just below 0. Since this is less than the 0 laps that you've completed, you won't get credit for a lap. Together, these 3 rules were designed to prevent any shortcuts from existing in Mario Kart Double Dash. And for 15 years, they worked nearly flawlessly.
Yeah, I mean, good job,
Goomba
Nintendo.
hadn't figured this all out by late 2018, but he had a general understanding of how it worked. Now, he had to put it all together somewhere, and the course he looked at was Mushroom Bridge. He had to not only get credit for driving through all the checkpoints, but also avoid cutting out more than 50% of the course at a time. It was gonna have to be a 2-step process. To get checkpoint credits, he took the lack hop mechanic to the next level.
Yeah.
By
You
going
can't
on the
skip too
grass
much.
just before the finish line, you can use a mushroom and release brake at the last moment to fly forward and hit a Lakitu zone. This zone is in front of the finish line, but because of where you hopped off, you're put back just before the finish line. And since you get credit for all checkpoints between where you're picked up and where you're set down, you get credit for every checkpoint on the course.
Nice.
That was step 1. The next step was to get race completion for the lap to count. Together with Lothjon, Goomba took a look at the bridge right before the start. By precisely jumping off at about 87% completion, you can hit the wall on the other side at about 37%. This is a decrease of only 50%, so it's valid as far as the game is concerned. You then respawn at 85%, once again less than 50%, and have therefore earned race completion for an entire lap. So, it was possible to do a lack hop to get checkpoints, then turn around and quickly do a bridge hop to get race completion. That satisfies both conditions 2 and 3, so if you drive over the finish line to enter the first checkpoint box, a lap counts. On September 15th, 2018,
That's pretty
Double
complex.
Dash's first shortcut in 15 years was born. Goomba's first 3-lap record with video clocked in at 1:15.639, about 2.5 seconds ahead of the non-shortcut record. He drove the first lap normally, then performed a shortcut on lap 2, and finished with a normal lap 3. Doing the shortcut more than once per race wasn't possible, as you needed a mushroom for the lack hop, and your mushrooms are taken away when picked up by Lakitu. Over the following few days, Goomba and a runner named J98 would trade the record down to a 1:14, each time doing the shortcut once and driving 2 laps normally. However, Goomba then figured out it was possible to do the lack hop without a mushroom. By going on the pillar next to the bridge, you have sufficient height that you can bounce off the ground and make it far enough without using a mushroom. This not only was faster than the old method, but also meant that theoretically, the
optimization.
shortcut could now be done more than once in a race. However, doing the bridge jump once was hard enough. Doing it twice in a row seemed nearly out of the question. Later in September, J98 and Goomba each did more mushroom bridge attempts, lowering the record to 111.
Does anyone have headaches when you learn something? It depends, really. If I spend like hours upon hours trying to figure something out, like in 3D software or anything else I try to do, then yeah, I can feel like, not a headache, but I feel tired in my head, like, oh yeah, this is, whew, that was taxing.
Still, nobody was able to get the shortcut more than once in a race. Players focused their efforts elsewhere, and the task of hitting 2 shortcuts was just too daunting. For over a year, that's where the record stood. But in March 2020, someone began playing Mushroom Bridge Shortcut. Only this time, it wasn't Goomba or J98. It was a relative newcomer to the game, one who is ranked outside of the top 40, but he was ready to try and take down a world record. His name was iMathy.
Also known as Giga Chad.
Mathy didn't have the driving skills of a world champion like Goomba. That meant that without
He was a
anything
hungry
new,
Yoshi.
his 111 was going to be awfully tough to beat.
Yeah,
But he
you're
had
secretly
one other
the
option.
Mario
He
Kart
could
Double
go
Dash
for
world
2
record
shortcuts
holder.
in the same race. It had never successfully been pulled off before, but even with worse driving, it could be enough to beat Goomba. Mathy got to work grinding attempts, getting as good as he could at the bridge hop and lack hop. And on March 2nd, 2020, he had this attempt.
Like far away, far into the mountain, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, it worked. That's funny. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Alright, don't freaking lose this.
Good for him. Yeah.
Oh my god! There!
He got it.
It's so bad! But that's it. That's it. Sub 111. Let's go.
A new record by less
Yeah.
than a tenth of a second. Not
Sub
to be
111.
outdone, world champion Goomba came back, and over the next few days, the two of them traded world records. However, over the next several months, Mathy would pull ahead, as he was able to line up faster for the lack hop and improved his driving around the course.
Yeah, let's fucking go, dude. 107, 325.
So now, a 1 out of 3 shortcut run had been optimized, a 2 out of 3 shortcut run had been optimized. There was only one thing left to do: hit the shortcut on all 3 laps.
But the insane thing is, they're still just talking about one track.
A 3 out of 3 run was originally thought to be slower, since you could quickly line up for a lack hop after driving a lap normally. However, in February 20...
How do you trade a world record in video games? Well, it's mostly like if 2 people are competing and they're constantly like, oh yeah, now he got the world record and the other person got the world record, and then the previous person get the world record back, and it just goes back and forth like that. That's considered a trading world record, because they're just the 2 people constantly flipping on who has the record.
2022, Mathy tested with save states and confirmed that, if performed optimally enough, a 3 out of 3 shortcut run would indeed save time. But actually hitting it was another story. Mathy had gotten quite good at executing the lack hop and bridge hop over the years, but he would need to do 3 of each in a row. That's 6 consecutive difficult tricks. It could take a while to grind this out. But just 4 days later, Mathy got himself on this run.
Go. Let's go. This definitely works. Pog. Poggiest pog.
Ooh.
This Let's go.
Lap 2.
Here we go. Please! Oh, come on! Ah, 104!
He was a bit upset because he wanted a 103, not a 104. But history had still been made.
Making
This
history and still not
104.363,
satisfied.
The world's first 3 out of 3 run is still the record today. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. As far as shortcut discoveries are concerned, we're still in 2018. And at this point, the only time trial shortcuts in
Come Yoshi, use that. What? Masturbate pump speed. And pump speed, yes. And then Hefest got this run. Ah, yeah. And that's how all these like speed running videos are. It's like, yeah, he got this run, and then this guy got this run.
the game.
Nah, no ban,
Waluigi
Yoshi. You're
Stadium
okay.
From 2003.
The boobas
and
are
Mushroom
safe
Bridge
here.
From 2018. But just a month later, thanks to a better understanding of how checkpoints worked, Double Dash's third time trial shortcut would be discovered. Welcome to Bowser's Castle.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't really watched many
Bowser's
Trackmania
Castle was quickly
speedrunning
singled
videos.
out as a prime candidate for a shortcut. The reason why is because of the balcony. About 40% of the way through a lap on Bowser's
yeah.
Castle, you drive on a balcony directly adjacent to the finish line. Drive to 60%, and you're higher up on the same balcony. It seemed natural that with so many regions being so close together, you could somehow get credit for being further in the lap than you really were. But for a while, it didn't seem to be possible. However, after Mushroom Bridge's discovery, Lothjon and Goomba looked into Bowser's Castle. And thanks to exploiting a specific
Oh yeah, I
game
know they're
mechanic,
crazy.
they figured out how
Onyx.
to use the balcony to their advantage.
I do remember I watched a video where there was like the guy who has been cheating on the first stage, and you know, discover his laps. All of them were like, you know, he had used like some sort of input cheat to get precise input and slow down the game, and then just sped it back up again. But then there was like a guy who actually legit managed to beat his record. I remember watching that video. I think it was like was it Carl Jobs or someone who made a video about that? Because I watch a lot of Carl Jobs. His videos about speedrunning are pretty damn good. Just as almost just like summoning salts.
This is the A-Tech Hop. As mentioned before, A-Tech is when you release the A button between mini-turbos to keep a straighter line. However, there's a side effect of A-Tech. Your kart's nose gets slightly lifted in the air. If you do a mini-turbo with A-Tech, then perform a sharp turn after releasing A, and then press R and A while your nose is pointed up, your kart hops into the air. It's called an A-Tech hop, and is the only way to hop in Mario Kart Double Dash. So, after driving half a lap normally, you arrive at the balcony. By performing an A-Tech hop in a precise spot off the ledge, your race completion goes from 40% to 60% as you hit the upper balcony checkpoints, to 99% as you hit the finish line checkpoints, and back to 40% as you respawn. It never jumps up by more than 50% at a time, so your race progression increases by a full.
What is it? Oh, you don't see the emote? Don't you see it, Yoshi? It's a 7TV emote. You know, it's if you watch the on the screen there, it should pop up. Oh no, that was wrong. There we go. Here comes the right one. You see it? Oh, okay. Huh? Ritz.
Full lap, and you get checkpoint credits upon respawning. This trick would go on to be nicknamed the flop. For laps 2 and 3, you can flop off the ledge, then lack hop to get checkpoint credits for the full lap, and complete the race having driven hardly any of it. So, Goomba got to work, and managed to hit the shortcut after a few tries on October 10th, 2018. A 2:09 run, ahead of the non-shortcut record by 7 seconds. Over the following few days, he'd cut down on the number of tries needed to hit it, taking the time down to 1:26. But on the 14th, Goomba would hit the first ever 3 out of 3, a run with 3 flops and 3 lack hops, and a final time of 1:06.
Yes,
Nice.
dude!
Oh my god.
The winner, Tenko.
A month later, a runner named Rick Bick would be the first to cut out a lack hop by hitting the proper checkpoints on the flop. That lowered the record to just over a minute. But just 5 days later, Goomba would return to not only take the record back,
Goomba.
but take it under a minute. Mario Kart Double Dash's first ever sub-minute world record.
Yes, dude. Oh my god, 59.
Get it?
And then, 3 years would pass. Goomba chose to play other courses in the game, and most other runners had little interest in shortcuts or just couldn't compete with him. But then Mathy came along. At first, he struggled to set any records on Bowser's Castle, but in September 2021, he finally came through with a 58-second run. But what Mathy would do just 4 weeks later was far more impressive. He would discover another shortcut, known today simply as the Big Bounce. And this is why. The Big Bounce is essentially a larger version of the A-Tech hop. Instead of angling your cart's
Big
nose
bounce.
up with A-Tech, you want to very precisely maneuver your cart along the edge. By then rotating around, your nose is pointed up much higher than it would be from A-Tech. You can then use a mushroom and do a more extreme version of the A-Tech hop called the Extreme Hop. By using another mushroom when you land, you perform what's called a shroom bounce and get
Here's a
even
big bounce
more
for you
air,
guys.
enough to hit the Lakitu zone and respawn on the balcony. This saves close to 10 seconds if performed optimally, but adds another layer of difficulty. Still, it didn't take long before Matthew was able to hit it in a run, and lower the record by another 6 seconds.
Yeah!
Oh, let's go.
Nice.
Nice job, dude.
Goomba didn't take long to respond, taking another 2 seconds off mostly via a faster big bounce at the start. That's where the record stood for about 6 months. But in April 2022, Matthew would come back once more, and finished off a 49-second world record with one of the most sarcastic celebrations in speedrunning history.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Matthew's 49-second run stands as the record today. Bowser's Castle has had dramatic record cuts over the years, but without new strategies, it shouldn't go very much lower. After Bowser's Castle, it wasn't obvious which course would be next. There were several that had potential, although nothing that could quite be put together. One day in October 2018, Goomba was streaming on Twitch and wanted to demonstrate some shortcut theory for his viewers. So, he loaded up Mushroom City. Goomba showed his chat that if you could somehow hit this Lakitu zone from the bottom, the game would set you back on top and you'd skip a good chunk of the course. However, he had tested this before, and the lap didn't count when driving over the finish line. So, he drove forward to show his viewers how a lap wasn't counted.
What? What? But that's not supposed to work.
Goomba had no idea what had happened,
What was
but
that?
he
Let me just
quickly
take a look
figured
again.
it out.
What was that? I was writing a message on my phone. I missed that. What happened?
He drove forward to show it didn't count when driving over the finish line. So, he drove forward to show his viewers how a lap wasn't counted.
What? What? But that's not supposed to work.
What the fuck?
Goomba had no idea what had happened, but he quickly figured it out. This part of the course contains both checkpoint boxes 24 and 25. They extend infinitely upwards. If you touch the Lakitu zone in box 25, you never actually leave this box when you respawn.
Link to the video? Yeah, I can do that. Of course I can, of course I can. If you want to watch it later, absolutely. You know, even give like the video a like or whatnot, you know, support the guy. He makes some great videos, so I'm gonna give it a like right there.
So neither race completion nor the checkpoint bit counter gets updated. If you touch it in box 24, on the other hand, you respawn outside of it, so the lap counts as it does on other courses. So that was figured out in October 2018, but this was all just the proof of concept. Goomba had no method of actually touching the Lakitu zone from below. He did it before with a moonjump code. So, it remained on the shelf for the next 2.5 years.
Ah, okay.
But in March 2021, Mathy solved it again. His
Go
method was
Mathy!
quite similar to the big bounce on Bowser's Castle. You angle your nose up on a slope, then do an extreme hop, and do a shroom bounce to get enormous height and touch the Lakitu zone.
Nice.
As long as you do so in checkpoint 24, the lap counts. And just like that, the Mushroom City shortcut was born.
I actually like this stage. I would love to see this come in one of the DLC packs.
Mathy was the first to set a 3-lap record on Mushroom
This
City.
is a cool stage.
Just hours after the
I
shortcut
would love to
was
see this,
discovered.
you know,
This was quite a difficult trick to
upscale.
hit, and he still needed to drive well enough after for it to be faster than the non-shortcut record. But he did.
Oh, yeah. 133.369, let's fucking go.
Fuck.
Goomba began doing attempts too, and thanks to a particularly fast shortcut hit, he beat Mathy and set the record.
Yes!
Over the following few weeks, the two of them would once again get into a world record battle. Mathy came up with a slightly faster way to do the shortcut from the front, and thanks to that, plus improved driving afterwards, the record came under a minute 30. But the biggest improvement would be discovered that September, when Mathy found that the shroom bounce wasn't needed. If you got your nose in the air enough and did an extreme hop, it was possible to reach the Lakitu zone without using a mushroom. Now, that technically opened the possibility of doing the shortcut more than once in a race, but it was an extremely difficult trick, tougher than any other shortcut in the game. Many months passed, and the record remained with just one shortcut out of 3. Doing it more than that was just too big of an ask. And then, on June 3rd, 2022, Mathy did this.
Of course he did. The mad lad. I never watched any of these speedrunners, but you know, it was fun to see that there are people out there that are this skilled at grinding down a game.
Oh, come on.
And that was recently.
Oh my god, dude.
Damn.
You're in a world record video. I just did the first 2 for 3 Mushroom City glitch.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I just have to not shit the bed lap 3 now.
He had done it again. The world's first 2 out of 3 shortcut hit on Mushroom City. To this day, it hasn't been replicated. Will a 3 out of 3 ever be done? Maybe one day, but keep in mind how long 2 out of 3 took. For now, a 120.634 is where the record stands. But these 3-lap runs aren't the only types of world records set in Mario Kart Double Dash. The game keeps track of not only your fastest 3-lap race, but also your fastest individual lap on any given course. On the Double Dash players page, this is called doing a fast lap, or flap for short. So that means it's possible to go to Bowser's Castle and do a flop on your flap.
A
I just
flop on
wanted
your
to say
flap.
that. But anyway,
The floppy
flap
flap.
world records are tracked right alongside 3-lap records and carry a similar level
yeah.
of prestige.
I do the floppy
But
flap
in
every day.
2021, a pair of shortcuts would be found that were slower for a 3-lap record, but would save time over a flap record. They would become the game's first flap-only shortcuts. First up,
I like the sound of that.
discovered in March 2021, we have Luigi Circuit. The shortcut on Luigi Circuit is one of the most clever in the game. Step 1 is to drive most of a lap normally. Then, before getting credit for the lap, you turn around and go back out to the front of the course. By doing an A-tech hop, it's possible to get on this ledge right in front of the finish line. You then maneuver right next to this zipper, and let's go over the 3 conditions for a lap to count again. Your checkpoints and race completion are met by driving around the course, which you already did. But the first condition says you have to touch checkpoint 0. This is normally done by just crossing the finish line, but it can also be done by touching it from the other side. So, when you touch the zipper, you enter checkpoint 0 and start the lap with about a 1-second head start. The resulting time save means that you can have an individual lap slightly faster than what you'd normally get. Beyond this, the only optimization is how well you drive the subsequent lap. Since Matthew discovered the A-tech hop in March 2021, he and Goomba have alternated who drove better, trading the record back and forth several times. And at the moment, Goomba holds the record with a 23.390. The other flap-only shortcut is a little different. Instead of a 23-second lap, we're talking more like 6 or 7 seconds. And this time, we're headed out to the desert.
Oh, yeah, this stage in Mario Kart 8.
Dry Desert had a lap
Kinda
hop
boring.
that had been known about for years. If you drive away from the road and cross the finish line as you get picked up by Lakitu, you'll be dropped down behind the finish line with all your checkpoints updated. Unfortunately, this wasn't helpful unless you could somehow gain race completion along with it. And for years, there was no way to do that. However, all the way back in 2003, a player named Scott R did this on Dino Dino Jungle.
Yeah, the pandemic, everyone became a master researcher.
When a floor is sloped enough in Double Dash, and you drive into it with enough speed while your cart is sideways, it's possible to clip through it. You need to get a bit lucky with your cart's positioning, so it's on one side of the floor one frame and the other side the next. But the
Okay, just gonna say this, like this track right here is one I really want to see in Mario Kart 8 as a DLC track. Because this stage is just awesome. There are dinos everywhere. I mean, Kylie would love this stage. This is like the best stage in the game. So many dinos walking around.
key is finding a floor sloped just the right way. It needs to be at the perfect angle so you can actually clip through it. Sorta like this downed pillar on Dry Desert. This particular clip was discovered by Matthew, and since you land out of bounds, you get warped straight to the finish line. So you can drive part of a lap, go out of bounds, then drive around again to stack your race completion higher. By then doing a lack hop to finish the lap, you get your checkpoints instantly to start lap 2, and upon crossing the finish line, you have yourself an incredibly short lap. Optimizations have been slim over the years, with just a fraction of a second being shaved off at a time.
Yep.
Matthew and Goomba set most of the records,
Can crash
but
and fall
famed
down.
Super Circuit runner Rusty set a few records too. This actually isn't the fastest flap record in the game, as both Mushroom Bridge and Bowser's Castle have records in the 4-second range. The current record here is 6.437 seconds by Matthew, and it seems that it can only go down by a couple hundredths of a second at most. The key is getting a frame-perfect lap entry, combined with a small bounce when being dropped by Lakitu. But regardless, this record shouldn't be going much lower. That makes it 2 flap-only shortcuts, and 4 that can be done on 3-lap runs. Over the years, many have tried their hand at these shortcuts. Some courses have a leaderboard of a few names, while older ones like Waluigi Stadium have dozens. But there's still one more shortcut to talk about. To this day, only one person has ever pulled it off fast enough.
Ooh.
The player was Mathy, and the course was Wario Coliseum.
That stage is
Wario Coliseum is a unique course. For one thing, it's the only course in the game where you drive just 2 laps for the race to be complete. But it's also got many places you can launch yourself off the road, which gave it huge potential for a shortcut. Throughout 2021, out of bounds and lack hop combinations were theorized, yet nothing came to fruition. But one night in June 2021, Goomba and Mathy hopped on a call and decided to look together. And over the next 24 hours, the Wario Coliseum shortcut was born. First, you drive to around 40% race completion. Then, you fly off the edge of the road, and by using a mushroom to pull your cart down, you avoid touching any other checkpoints and land out of bounds. However, when respawning behind the finish line, the game actually thinks you're on the track below at 55%, so the 50% rule is satisfied. You then drive backwards, do a lack hop to get all checkpoints between where you jumped off and where you went out of bounds, and when you drive forward, a lap counts. Now, is all this faster than just driving the lap normally? It actually is, but just barely. Only one person has been able to execute.
Whoa. Raided my stream with 109 viewers.
Surfins with the raid. Hello, thank you so much. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. What were you streaming? Cuphead. Oh my god, nice. Were you playing the DLC?
You're not just hurting me. You're hurting Yoshi.
Surfins, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
He's just trying to help me out.
Ah. How was your stream? How did it go? And welcome in, everyone.
Yoshi!
Oh, what's this? Is this some, Oh, we're playing Super Mario World.
You monsters.
Is that on ROM hack? So yeah, we cleaned up with the start on like the first 3 levels of Cuphead. Never played it before. Oh, nice. This is your first time playing Cuphead. Nice. Yeah, I haven't played through the game either. I started on it a little while back. But yeah, I definitely wanna play through it so I can play the DLC too. The game is so much fun, but also very frustrating. Oh, we have a whole bunch of stuff today. Ah, well, I hope you had an excellent stream then. But yeah, welcome everyone. I'm Doan. I am a variety and retro streamer from Norway. And right now, I'm just having a chill Sunday morning stream. Well, it's 12 PM now, so we're no longer morning. But yeah, we're just sitting in here, talking to chat and community. And just watching some YouTube videos about, you know, gaming and speedrunning. And right now, we're watching a video by Summoning Salt about the hidden shortcuts of Mario Kart Double Dash, which just so happens to be my favorite, one of my favorite Mario Kart games. So yeah, we're almost at the end of the video now, and man, this is for anyone who's into speedrunning, I find these videos to be really interesting. Yeah, Summoning Salt is amazing. Have you seen this video? Cause there's some crazy stuff going on with this game. It's insane.
Do it fast enough to save time over a non-shortcut run. Mathy. On June 6th, 2021, he did it for the first time, getting a 156.190 that beat the non-shortcut record by 1/100th of a second.
Yes, finally, 156, 190.
Let's go.
There's a video.
He'd follow this up 4 months later with a 155.735, and then a 155.437 in March 2022. And to this day, those are the only 3 records that have ever been set on Wario Coliseum.
I'm still calling it morning as I'm eating toast right now. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's still early for me. I usually wake up around like 2-3 PM, so you know, waking up at 10 AM today, that's unusual for me. You know next to nothing about speedrunning, But Salt really, yeah. I've been watching like some speedrunning YouTubers. Are you familiar with Carl Jobs? He does some great coverage of various speedrunning what can I say, achievements and accomplishments. His videos are also amazing. Oh yeah. His videos about Billy and Mitchell, those were great. And also how he exposed, WOTA games and how they were like artificially increasing the prices of retro games. I love that too. That was amazing. That's some deep dive journalism right there. I love Billy Mitchell, greatest neo dadaist of our time. I mean, hey, he's the greatest, most accomplished, amazing gamer that's ever been born. We are just so lucky to, see his hair blow in the wind. He's a gift to humanity, and all he needs to do is snap his finger, and world hunger will end. Every game developer loves him. There's no better than him.
Waluigi Stadium, Mushroom Bridge, Bowser's Castle, Mushroom...
It's like Gary Bobby Ferguson. Oh, who's that again? I'm terrible with name. I'm so sorry about that. I need to do a quick Google search. Isn't that the... Oh, it's the parody that they added into the regular show. I never watched that. I probably should get around to doing that. And did you ever watch the Game Chaser Don't? No, I did not, Ritz. I did not.
Mushroom City, Luigi Circuit, Dry Desert, and Wario
Hey,
Coliseum.
Ken Masters, welcome in.
Those are the 7 courses that have been broken
Analog
for
Man, thank you so much for the
players of
follow. I
Mario Kart
appreciate that.
Double
Thank
Dash.
you. Welcome in.
There exists an 8th shortcut on Dino Jungle that hasn't been hit fast enough yet.
Hope you're all doing
It's
good this
similar
Sunday.
to Luigi Circuit, where you start a lap from the other end of Checkpoint Zero. A few years ago, Waluigi Stadium was alone. Now, half the courses in the game have a shortcut. Double Dash is going to be played for generations to come, and right now, we're just in a snapshot of its history. But if its past is any indication, players aren't yet done breaking its courses and
Ken
finding
Masters,
shortcuts.
thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate
8
that.
courses have yet to fall victim to a shortcut, but it seems that their days are numbered. More
Yes,
courses will be broken. The only question
It's gonna be interesting to watch what happens.
and who will be the ones to do it. Thanks for watching.
I just noticed that the browser is actually going above my webcam there. I never noticed that until now. Oops. There we go. But yeah. To you guys who just came in and followed, thank you so much for follows. I really appreciate that. As I said, I am a retro and variety streamer from Norway. I usually play, a bunch of retro games, especially Nintendo. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. And I'm also, really interested in speedrunning, even though I don't do much of it myself, but I love watching speedruns. So yeah, this was a video about, Double Dash finally being broken and people are discovering new shortcuts. I'll link the video again to those of you who are curious. If you want to check out the video or just, give it a like or a follow. Something Salt makes amazing videos. But yeah, so Ken Masters and the Analog Man, thank you guys so much for the follows. I really appreciate that. And yeah, there were some other videos I wanted to watch. Had Carl Jobs come with anything new? Oh, 2 days ago. This sounds interesting. Speedrunner fakes world record during a charity event. Oh my god, we gotta take a look at this. Okay, this is gonna be the next video up. But yeah, as I said, today, right now, I'm just doing a chill Sunday, early Sunday stream, where I'm just sitting around, talking to my community and just watching some gaming and speedrunning related videos. Because, that's what we're all about here. We were just talking about this last week during Kyle's Minecraft. Really? Yeah, I wanna take a look at this video. And hey, you're still here, Aki. Hope you're doing well. But I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break, so I'll be right back. I will start a battle royale, and you know, the avatars can duke it out. And also just run some quick ads to get rid of the pre-rolls. So yeah, be right back, like real quick, guys. There we go. I'll just put the be right back text up. And yeah, be right back. Alright. I'm back, guys. I'm back. This song, Aki, does it bring forth some good memories? Eh? What is this from again? Hold on. This is the... Oh yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. Yes, of course. Yeah, that game, it's a lot of fun, but it can also be so frustrating with the wonky hitboxes and whatnot. Oh man. I 100% that game a few years back. That took a while. That took a while. That it did. Anyway, let me just get the be right back text off here. And yeah, let's watch this video. Speedrunner fakes world record during a charity event. How do you do that during a charity event? My god. Yeah, that freak. Oh yeah, racing up that hill and then you hit those palm trees. Oh my god, that race is just so scuffed. Or even the one at the snow level with those snowballs coming at you too. Is it the walrus or whatever? That's a frustrating one too. But alright, let's continue watching. The ads should be off now. Yeah. Alright, let's see what this guy did.
Absolute legends. Games Done Quick is the biggest speedrunning event in the world. A week-long marathon where speedrunners from all over the world come together in celebration of the hobby and to demonstrate the amazing strategies their communities have developed over the years. A wide spectrum of games, from the most popular today to games you've never heard of, are speedrun while commentators explain what's happening and provide expert insight. While at its core, Games Done Quick is an exhibition of speedrunning, its mission is to raise money for charity, which it does very well, raising millions each year for numerous causes. For the first 10 years of its life, Games Done Quick was a strictly in-person event.
Hey, Wamps! Who the heck raided with an entire battalion? Surfins did! So you know, you also go and give a Surfin some love. I'll give him another shout out, because he deserves it. He's also, you know, a retro streamer. He has some pretty chill
I'm gonna
streams.
sneeze
I
again.
sometimes lurks in his stream, but, you know, not often. He does stream, like, whenever I'm in, like... when I'm, like, sleeping or not awake. So I don't have much time to go
7.
by, but whenever I've been there,
Right? I
it's
think that
been
was
super
7.
chill. Really wholesome community vibe there. So go check him out. Definitely go check him out.
I'm fine.
Will you remember us
Sneezing
when you're
feels good.
famous? Of course I'll remember all the guys and, you know, came in here every time I streamed, were supportive and stuck around. I appreciate all of you guys. You know, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. And yes, I am up early. I'm thinking it's gonna be like a thing I wanna do moving forward with my streams. Every Sunday, at least, you know, I do an early Sunday stream where, you know, I just talk about my week, you know, catch up with the community, stuff like that, and just sit down, watch some videos. Just have a, you know, just chatting session every Sunday. I think that's gonna be nice.
Gamers had to physically go to the event in order to run their game. However, after the beginning of the pandemic, Games Done Quick would switch their event to completely online. This meant that a runner could now perform their speedrun at home, and it would be streamed to the Games Done Quick channel. Thankfully, this really didn't diminish the event in any big way. The viewers continued to watch, and the money was still being raised at an amazing rate. But it did open the door for something more sinister. In the past, players would speedrun their game directly in front of GDQ staff and other speedrunners, making...
Hey, D-pad Destroyer. I like that name. Many a D-pads over the years have been crushed. And yes, Carl Jobs is amazing. I love his videos. Him and Summoning Souls, those are some top tier speedrunning
it essentially
content
impossible
creators.
to cheat. When someone plays from home, the story is different. No one is there to verify what's happening, and a player could in theory stream anything to the main channel, like perhaps a pre-recorded video. Luckily, this didn't seem to be an issue, at least until now. On the 30th of June, the speedrunner Mecharazium, who was playing remotely from Russia, streamed a previously recorded, spliced fake speedrun and pretended to play. And it wasn't just a standard run-of-the-mill speedrun you would expect at a live marathon, it was a new world record. This is crazy and truly bizarre for many reasons which we will discuss in the video, not least of which is the fact that he did this at a charity event, but what's even crazier is what happened after he cheated, and it will blow your mind. In today's video, we will take a look at what went down, and I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts about what happened in the aftermath.
I need to
really
play
hope you
Revengeance
enjoy.
though. I haven't played this game. I do own it though for
Now,
the PS3.
Legends, I'm very excited to announce this video's sponsor, Geology. I have an embarrassing confession to make. I'm extremely lazy when it comes to washing my face, and my wife always complains that my face looks and feels oily and dirty. So the lesson I learned is that if you don't take care of your face, people notice. That's why you should be using Geology. Geology is a
I was expecting the, you know,
skincare company
the ball shaving set. What is that? Manscaped.
All you have to do is take a quick 30-second quiz.
Because he's been using that for a while.
Geology will provide you with
I was waiting for that.
a regimen that is shipped directly to your door. Personally, I told Geology I wanted to fix
Oily
my
face
skin
Andy.
and help with
Hey,
the dark
he's a
patches
gamer.
under my eyes. So they sent me a daily face wash and daily cream, plus their award-winning eye cream. The effects were immediately noticeable,
Target's
and as soon as I started
advertising.
using the products, my skin felt great. If you go to geology.com or click the link in the description
Thank you
and
so
take
much
their
for the
free
follower,
skincare
D-pad
quiz,
Destroyer.
you will save up to 50% off on
yeah.
a 30-day trial. So please click the link in the description and start giving your face the love it deserves.
I play a lot of retro variety, so
Games Done
that's your
Quick
thing.
is a speedrunning
Hope you'll
marathon,
come on by.
and marathons are a vastly different environment than what speedrunners typically have
I
to
like
deal
my
with.
message.
Generally,
Nice.
speedrunning is about getting, quote-unquote, the
Jeez,
run.
Pog.
Runners will spend hundreds or thousands of hours, weeks, months, and even years
I love
doing the
Cheese.
same thing
I've been
over and
following him
over
for
again,
years.
trying to beat their personal best. Or maybe, if they are lucky, the world record.
Cheese and
Ultimately,
Liam.
It doesn't really matter
They're
if they
amazing
fail any
runners.
particular run, because they can simply start over and try again. But in a marathon setting, players only get a single chance, performing what runners call a no-reset run. This means they aren't allowed to restart if something goes wrong. They must play from start to finish in a single attempt. This increases the pressure dramatically and causes a problem that a lot of runners experience, which is to stress too much over getting a good run. Of course, it's natural to want to perform well, but the reality is that if you only have one opportunity, the run is probably going to be a lot worse than your best. There is a reason runners can spend years trying to get a world record. They are incredibly difficult. In any specific
Or as
run,
we in
many
Asia
things
call them,
can and
RTA.
do go wrong, including simply getting bad luck from the game, which is out of your control. This is why many runners will change their strategies to better suit a marathon environment. They will use less risky strategies, and they may also choose techniques that are a bit easier to perform, even if they are a bit slower. It has to be said, though, that many runners worry far too much about performing well. If you are performing at a charity event and your biggest concern is how fast your run is, I think you're probably missing the point. At the end of the day,
I
it should
agree.
be about having a good time, showing some cool tricks and techniques that your community has found, and being grateful that you can take part in an event that is doing a lot of good for the community. No one in their right
That's
mind
cursed.
expects a runner at a marathon to perform an amazing speedrun. It just goes against everything people understand about the hobby, which is that fast runs take a lot of effort and a lot of time to achieve. And when you do have speedrunners thinking that their run needs to be amazing, you ultimately get what happened at Summer Games Done Quick this year, a player faking a world record. The runner Mecharazium, or Mecha for short, was scheduled to speedrun Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and this run went exactly as you'd predict it would. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't terrible. It was 3 minutes slower than the world record, but in a run of that length, being just short of an hour, it's really nothing to complain about. It was the textbook kind of run you would see at every marathon. And the reason this speedrun is what you would expect is because it was legitimate. He was actually playing. Mecha wasn't happy though, and just listen to how he talks immediately afterwards.
Let's see here. Yo, that Raymu in the crowd? Oh, I didn't pay attention to the crowd there. I didn't see who was in there. Man brought wife with the... Was the one with the pillow? The runner Macaroni. Oh, I'm not familiar with him. There's a lot of speedruns I don't really follow. The most speedruns I watch are usually Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Do we have 5745. 5745, still underestimate, boyo. Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
I don't
Yes.
think this run's good.
Well,
I mean, look, I've choked. Yes, I
Sean
played
Plushie.
badly.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I could have done better, but I mean,
Hey.
I haven't slept.
If you're confident enough to
I'm
bring your wife with plushie to an event,
You know what?
quite a while.
you're Chad.
Despite the commentators giving him props for the run, he apologizes for quote-unquote playing badly, and makes excuses for why the run wasn't good. It is obvious that he cares far too much about how impressive his run should have been. And as I talked about before, this type of unrealistic and misguided thinking about marathon runs is a problem, and it led directly to what happened next. Even though Mecha's original scheduled run was legit, he wasn't finished playing yet. As part of the efforts to raise money, Games Done Quick also gives donation incentives for extra challenges. In this case, they put up an incentive for Mecha to play the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance DLC, Blade Wolf. In order to be successful, viewers would need to donate $25,000 for him to speedrun the DLC. And of course, the goal was met. The Blade Wolf DLC
Oh, that's what
is
they
not
call
a
him,
long speedrun
Macaroni.
by any means, coming in
Okay,
well below
okay.
10 minutes, which makes Mecha's decision even stranger. He had just finished a 1-hour speedrun, but Mecha didn't really want to play for another 7 minutes or so. Even though viewers and supporters had raised $25,000, Mecha had a different idea. Over a month earlier, he had crafted a spliced run of the DLC. He had tried certain sections of the speedrun over and over until he did them very well, and then stitched them together with video editing software. The world record for a speedrun of this DLC stood at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. The run that Mecha had crafted was 6 minutes and 57 seconds, beating the...
Let's see, gotta head to bed now. Y'all take care. Hey, Ken Masters, you have a good night, get some good sleep, rest up, and thank you so much for coming in with the raid. Thank you for hanging out for a bit, and thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. So yeah, get some sleep, take care, and stay safe, and I do hope to see you around. So yeah, thank you so much. Peace out.
The current world record substantially. Instead of actually playing, Mecha would stream the video of his pre-recorded spliced run and pretend he was playing. Knowing what we know now about this run, it's really hard to watch. Mecha really tries to sell the fact that he's actually playing the game. He pretends that things almost go wrong, knowing full well they won't.
No. Perfect. And we're going to touch the panel with... do not kill me, I'm going to smother you if you do. Let's go.
He even talks himself up about how good he is playing, calling himself a god gamer.
And every single attack of Kamsin will kill us. I'm not using any safety strategies because I am a god gamer.
At the end, he asks what the final time is and pretends to act shocked that it's a world record.
Time. Can you tell me the time?
Looks like a 6:55.
Holy shit. Kind of like a world record. Yes.
Now, I have to say, it's one thing to splice a speedrun and upload it to YouTube or a rankings page. It's something else entirely to get in front of tens of thousands of people live and to lie to them by pretending to speedrun a game. I think it takes an extra special level of psychopathy to do something like that. In my many years of experience, this kind of thing is extremely rare.
Oh no!
And I've always found it to be much more bizarre than merely
Russian
uploading
XQC?
a run to a rankings. The act
XQCL?
of physically pretending to play is just crazy to me, and I don't
remember
understand
this.
how someone could do it. Afterwards, Mecha went on a very discombobulated
But
rant that I
you
really
could see
can't
it was fake.
understand,
That guy wasn't
even
even
on
serious.
viewings.
Can you please use the term I feel empty and deranged. Denied, one last epiphany, and ushered from the stage.
Kinda.
We won't be meeting again, I think.
I don't know.
Some people just
I
want
can
to
see it.
this world
I can
burn.
see the XQC.
Good night. There will be more godless nights.
Mecha's entire performance, even during his legitimate speedrun, did seem weird to me, but that's not really surprising. I think you'd have to be a bit weird in the first place to do what he did. No one immediately noticed or even considered the possibility that he wasn't playing, but there were some pretty obvious signs that something wasn't quite right during the run. For example, during his real speedrun, you can clearly hear him using his keyboard and mouse, but during his DLC run, his keyboard was completely silent.
Chapter. But before we kick it over to donations, just to prime you for what's ahead, we have to walk through that entire...
each of the parry is extremely important to us, and every single attack of Kamsin will kill us.
He even took his hand off the mouse at one point, and in order to recover from this, claimed that he had used his opposite hand to move it during this brief moment.
It's actually pretty hard to get past this grab because he has an eyes on his on his head, and obviously moving the mouse with my left hand was a different experience.
Yeah.
Several days after the run, Mecha reached out to GDQ admin and advised them that...
No, he didn't switch keyboards, but he wasn't... Like, if he wanted to really make it more legit, he would have had like a different keyboard. They would just press the keys on just to make the sound. But there wasn't any keyboard clicking sounds. That was the issue. And also the fact the camera panned while he took his hand off the mouse.
That the run was a pre-recorded segmented run. He claimed that he changed his mind at the last second after switching saves. He noted some oddities about the run and appeared to apologize. However, as we will soon see, excluding the highlighted oddities about the run, essentially everything in this message is a complete lie, including the apology. Originally, people thought that Mecha came clean by choice, but that's not really what happened. The day after his run, it had already been confirmed that the run was spliced by the moderator, Dark Slayer, who realized that a checkpoint message that is supposed to appear was absent. This would only happen if it wasn't the first time playing through that section, indicating that it was a pre-recorded spliced run. So Mecha was basically forced to confess, or he would have been exposed by others. After his confession, GDQ banned Mecha from any future events and removed his run from their YouTube channel. He also made a public statement saying, he contacted our staff with a document detailing that he had planned this for over a month, demonstrating this was planned and intentional. This is absolutely unacceptable and attempts to undermine the integrity of the speedrunning community that we love and support. We have removed Mecharazium's runs from our YouTube archive and will not permit him to run in the future. So after scamming donors out of $25,000 and pretending to play a fake speedrun at a charity event and the most beloved speedrunning marathon in the world, you would think that Mecha would be banned from the speedrunning community and people would go about their business. But that's not what happened. Remember when Mecha said multiple times that he wouldn't submit the run to the leaderboards? Well, that was a lie, because several days later, that's exactly what he did. And surprisingly, the run was accepted. Your immediate reaction would be to ask,
wait,
how the
there's
hell
more.
is that possible? And it's due to a technicality. You see, while Mecha did pretend to play a regular speedrun, technically the video he made was a segmented speedrun, which is where speedrunners splice together multiple sections after repeatedly trying them. So instead of submitting the run to the regular leaderboard, he submitted the run as a segmented speedrun instead. And because the moderator believed it technically doesn't break the rules for a segmented speedrun, it was approved. It gets a little bit
double
worse,
dip,
though.
man.
When you submit a
The
speedrun
double
to
dip.
speedrun.com, you need to link a video of the speedrun. Now, obviously Mecha has the original video that he made. You know, the one he used to fake the speedrun at GDQ. But Mecha didn't use that video to prove his speedrun. No, he used footage from Games Done Quick, where he was pretending to play. This, in my mind, proves that Mecha is not sorry at all for what he did. If you had guilt about what you did, or felt any remorse or shame, why would you use the footage of you doing said thing, instead of just using the original footage? You wouldn't. The reality is that Mecha is proud of what he did, and he wanted to show it off. He wanted to promote his deception, and use it as a trophy by displaying it on speedrun.com. And if you think I'm looking too deep into this, I haven't yet mentioned that Mecha has on multiple occasions since defended his actions. On Reddit, he claimed that people weren't thinking outside of the box enough, and weren't connecting the dots. And yes, at this point he was still claiming that he wasn't going to submit the run to the leaderboards. What's more shocking to me though, is that a moderator allowed this to happen, essentially endorsing Mecha's actions. By allowing this particular run onto the ranks, you are in effect condoning what happened. When I found out, I couldn't believe it. I needed to find out what was going on. So a good friend of mine, Apache Smash, got me in touch with one of the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance moderators, Valeria. And to her credit, she was extremely nice and open. When I asked her why the run was on the ranks, she said that she had only just found out herself. So this was obviously not a reflection of all of the moderators, and was likely a decision made by one person. Now, I want to stress heavily that though I'm about
the moderator is not the person on screen right now. I was like a little confused.
Absolutely no one should ever harass or even...
No, because it says right... Yeah, that's also like... He said she, and you know, if the guy... If he identifies as a she, I don't mind. But it says he, him, down here under his name at the bottom there. And it says Apex Smash. Is that... That's not the same... That's not the person he's talking about. Is it?
Contact any of the moderation team at all in regards to this situation.
Yeah, so that's a little confusing there.
You can leave a comment under this video, and the moderators can choose whether or not they want to read them. I was very appreciative of the fact that Valeria was willing to speak with me, and as she didn't make the decision herself, I asked her to approach the moderation team to make sure they were all on board with the decision. I asked her to provide the moderation team with 3 things to consider, and I made it clear to her, as I make it clear now, that I don't speak from authority, and I don't speedrun the game, so I really don't feel entitled and think my opinion is worth more than anyone else's. But this is my opinion, and I asked her to bring it to the team. I asked them to consider removing the run from the ranks. If they weren't willing to do that, I asked them to consider removing the footage from Games Done Quick, as that was extremely disrespectful. And failing that, I asked them to at least make a public statement condemning Mecha's actions.
See, this is a dip. I must say, wait, did she legit cosplay Tuck Snake for a run? Yeah, that would be a dedication. That would be awesome. You ever see the Dragon Quest 3 speedrun? No, I never watched any Dragon Quest speedruns, so I'm not familiar with that at all. As I said, the only speedruns I really watch are SM64 and Ocarina of Time, and whatever I see is on Games Done Quick.
As from an outside perspective, it appeared as though they approve of what he did. The moderation team refused to do all 3. Make of that what you will. If you look at the speedrun today, you will notice the video has changed and is now the original footage. This isn't because Mecha or the moderation team decided to change it, it only happened because Games Done Quick found out and had to step in and take down the video. The video linked showing the original run was uploaded in May, confirming that Mecha had been planning this for at least a month in advance. I simply have no idea how a speedrunner can scam donors out of $25,000, cheat during a charity marathon, make a joke out of the entire thing, and not only face no consequences, but have that very same speedrun approved on the official leaderboards. My mind is blown, and I genuinely feel sorry for other speedrunners of that game who hate what Mecha did and don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is that Mecha was actually banned from the community for the rest of the Metal Gear games, but the one particular game in which he cheated is the one game in which he faced no consequences.
Wow.
Which I think is just a reflection of that one community and is not indicative of the speedrunning community as a whole. I'm pretty sure that most other communities would have banned him outright, or at the very least, not approved that particular run. I am very curious to hear what your opinions are on this, so please let me and everyone else know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day. And
that was a super douchey thing to do, you know? And it's so ridiculous that it, you know, didn't kick him out of the community or anything like that. Well, all the other Metal Gear communities did. See, the TLDR version, there used to be a joke that if you could speedrun Dragon Quest 3, you could join the Yakuza, so some speedrunners would dress up for their attempts. It's hilarious. Oh, so they dress up like Yakuza? Nice. Kinda cool. Yeah, these videos are great. You get a lot of, like, from Carl Jobs and Summoning Salt. And, yeah, this one too. Some guy who did all of every star blindfolded. Holy shit, that's some skill level right there. So yeah, Carl Jobs and Summoning Salt, those are two excellent channels for speedrunning stuff. If you're into like speedrunning lore. Like the history of New Super Mario Bros. Wii World Records, Super Punch-Out. Yeah, a lot of great videos. If you're into the speedrunning stuff. Same with Carl Jobs, really. They're both amazing channels. And Janan's Smootlol. Hey man, wanna check out a funny video I made? You know, usually I don't do the self-promo thing. You know, I do have a Discord where people can link like stuff, but usually I don't just click on you know, links or videos for the self-promo stuff in the chat. Yeah, you know, I'm glad you asked. You know, there's nothing wrong in asking, so you know. Appreciate that. But usually I try to keep like the self-promo stuff at a minimum in the chat. So my favorite bit is a dude who used a hot plate. What?
hello, you.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched this video, so yeah, okay. And 1 month ago, I can watch that. You never share like no. Is it like a video of that run or something? If there's like if there's a Dragon Quest 3, if it's a speed run, is there like a video of it somewhere? That would be interesting to watch, or at least take a look at. I was talking about.
You absolute legends. We have officially done it. After 4.
Okay, hot plate run. Okay, let me just bring the video up here so I at least have it. Let's see. Oh, not 2. Put their NES on a hot plate to beat game faster? What? It's super fascinating on a scientific level. What is this? What? How? Is the hot plate on? Okay, we need to watch this video, guys. We need to watch this. I'm just gonna refill my water bottle because it's empty. But yeah, this is what is this? Yeah, we need to check this one out. But yeah, I'm just gonna refill my water bottle, so be right back real quick. See. Alright. I'm back, and Yoshi with the hydrate. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah, I need some hydration here. That's good stuff. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's cloudy and rainy outside, but it's hot. It's hot. Ooh. But yeah, okay, let's take a look at this, Aki. This has piqued my interest.
In December 2020, Dragon Quest III for the NES was broken in the most unique way possible, with speedrunners putting their consoles on a hot plate to generate glitches that allowed them to complete the game faster. The glitch is technical, and there is a large history leading up to its discovery. To help understand it, we'll be looking at the current method North American runners use to break the game, and then explore how the Japanese runners use a hot plate to achieve similar results, to great reaction.
What the fuck?
The third game released in the series, Dragon Quest III, hit shelves in 1988 in Japan, but wouldn't see a North American release until 1992. The regional releases have differences that we'll look at later, but for now, let's go over the basic gameplay to get a better understanding of what the glitches will be affecting. It comes with your standard RPG staples, an overworld, a party, character classes, a combat system, and a leveling system that grants characters
This is a
increased
JRPG, the
stats
game.
and new spells as they level up. The party system isn't fixed as it is in other RPGs, as you're able to select party members of different classes to accompany you on your journey, and if you're not happy, you can swap them out or dismiss them at special locations in-game. The most powerful class is the Sage, with high stats in magic and attack. They aren't available at the start, and require two things: a character of level 20 to promote, and a special item to unlock that promotion. You probably see where I'm going with this, that if runners could glitch a Sage into their party early, they would be able to steamroll through the game. And a glitch was discovered in Japan 30 years ago that did just this. A few years after the game was
It's the JRPG. If you ever play Yakuza 0, it's a game that the kid had stolen from him that Kiryu has to get back. It's also the inspiration for a ton of anime. Yeah. This is, I know, the old Dragon Quest games are like, and Final Fantasy games too, are like hugely inspirational in a lot of media and anime in Japan. And yeah, I do have Yakuza 0. I want to play through that game on stream. I have it for my PS4, and I'll just play it on my PS5.
Released, and well before speedrunning was on anyone's mind, one player was messing around with his console when he entered the game with a max level character on load-in. You might be wondering what he was doing to achieve this, and if it was reproducible, but the easiest way to explain what was happening is to look at a warning that was common in game manuals back in the day. If you're like me, you grew up playing Pokemon, and the one thing it said while saving the game was "Don't turn off the power" in big bold letters. This is because when the game is saving, it's writing data to a file in the system's internal memory. If this process is interrupted, various glitches and bugs can occur when it's booted up again. Dragon Quest was no exception to this rule, and included in the game's manual were instructions to hold reset while powering off to avoid any corrupted save data. Normally, we'd have to speculate as to what exactly the player was doing to achieve these results. Luckily, the original player from the 90s contacted the Japanese YouTuber 4ST, where they recreated the glitch on video in August of 2020. The glitch is tedious to set up, but it does involve doing multiple save and quits and some improper quitouts to corrupt the data. When asked how he originally discovered this, the player replied that his younger brother kicked the console while he was playing, causing it to turn off. And when he rebooted, his character was max level. Before we learn how the hot plate factors into this glitch, we need to understand how things are working to arrive in this max level state, and there's no better way than looking at the glitches North American runners use. the item glitch, and RNG manipulation. The item glitch shares some commonality with the previous bug, in that it involves changing the memory of the game, except this time you're editing precisely the values you want edited. Recall the game has locations that let you change out party members. However, it never allows you to create a party of 0, forcing you to keep the hero at all times. But if you use the Dream Ruby item to inflict the num status on a party member and then go to change out party members, the game's code doesn't do the check on the num character, which means you can cast them out of the party to have 0 members. To better understand why this is important, we need to look at 2 coding terms, arrays and overflow. Arrays are a type of data structure used to store data.
They're really going deep into this. This is a deep dive.
A unique memory address that can be used to quickly find it and perform operations on. When an array is created, it needs 2 things: the type of data it will be storing and the size. For Dragon Quest III, there are 2 arrays that are important to this glitch: the party array and the overworld tile array the party occupies, which each have a size of 4. By showing up to the tavern with 3 dead characters and 1 with a num status, you can then get a party full of dead characters, which doesn't seem special on its own. But since the array is expecting
the entire
1
party
to 4
is dead.
items inside
Moving
of it,
on.
the 0 causes something else to happen: overflow. Overflow occurs when a data type tries to compute an operation that is outside of its range. A byte, for example, can represent numbers between 0 and 255.
This is Dragon Quest 3. So, old school NES JRPG.
If an operation would cause it to go over that range, overflow happens, which can have varying effects on the software. When you have a normal party, the 2 arrays function to apply damage on party members that enter a damaging tile on the overworld by making a check to see which character occupies that tile, and then it subtracts 2 HP from their current total. With a fully dead party, it starts with 0 in the array, when it should only be encountering numbers between 1 and 4, so it starts going through all 256 numbers and applies a subtract 2 operation to them. It gets much more technical from here, but due to the work by a runner named Vaxherd, it was discovered that while in this state, the game will edit other pieces of data while trying to apply damage to the dead characters, including stats, spells, and experience. With a glitch that allows you to customize your party through data editing, you'd think the run would be solved, but it wasn't the only thing Vaxherd discovered while he was investigating the item glitch. He found a bug in the game's code that generates RNG. The game seeds its RNG from the save file, and has a possible 65,536 seeds that it can generate. To understand how RNG works, picture the random events in the game as a large, shuffled deck of cards. Every time it needs a random event, such as an encounter, it draws a card from the deck. While looking into the item glitch, Vaxherd discovered a flaw in the RNG logic that meant under certain conditions, the game's RNG seed would become locked on a save file, making the generated random numbers a predictable sequence instead. The setup to perform the locked RNG seed is quite complex.
Raided my stream with 4 viewers.
Retro! Hello, thank you for the raid. Hey, let's give you that shout out. Alright, everyone, hey, follow Retro. Yeah, look at that clip. Look at that awesome gaming collection this guy has. He's an awesome retro game collector. He does console repairs. Definitely check out his streams. They are super chill.
That's probably what she wanted to have.
Talks about a bunch of awesome stuff. And that was when you took your shot, wasn't that, Retro? Oh my god. But yeah, just look at that collection. I am so envious of that collection. Everyone, go and show Retro Furball here some love. And yeah, welcome in Raiders, welcome in everyone. I'm Doan, Retro Variety streamer for Norway. And right now, I'm just chilling, sitting here talking with chat. And watching some videos about speedrunning. This is, we are watching a speedrunner put their NES on a hot plate to beat the game faster. It's an interesting concept. But yeah, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope your stream went well, Retro. Hope you had a good time. Did you fix your computer? Do you get it up and running again?
but the results allow you to get the items you need to perform the item glitch reliably. With RNG manip and the item glitch, you can not only get a buffed up party, but also give yourself a quick warp to the end of the game through use of the return spell. Normally, the return spell warps you to a previously visited town of your choice. With the item glitch, you can edit its properties to allow you to warp to the last town before...
You had to remind me. Oh, I appreciate that, Retro. I really do, Furball. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, I hope you got your PC up and running again. Have you played Dragon Quest 3? You know, isn't you got that big, nice NES collection? I'm still waiting for the whole hot plate to come into the picture. I haven't seen the hot plate yet, but I guess it's gonna pop up soon.
Or the final dungeon, to beat the final bosses with your near invincible party. With an understanding of save and quit data corruption and how the actual data can be edited, we're ready to look at what the hot plate is doing to the game and how it works. The original glitch found 30 years ago isn't hard to reproduce, and with a few dozen attempts you could likely replicate it as well, but there are some restrictions. The first being that the control circuit for the game cartridge for Japanese releases were older models that didn't handle instability in the data the best.
Yeah, I said the same thing, Red
Release
Furball.
has an updated chipset, so you likely won't be able to reproduce this on your own version of the game. Aside from the regional difference in the hardware, the timing required to perform the glitch is fairly precise, so for anyone trying to speedrun the game with this glitch, you'll likely be resetting a lot of attempts. But this is where the hot plate comes in. Since we already know the old control circuit had issues, what if we could exploit them to consistently reproduce the glitch? If you took physics in high school, you may recall that the conductivity of metal changes with temperature, which is precisely what the hot plate is doing. By heating up the console to specific temperatures, the electrical components become more conductive, which results in volatile outputs being registered. So a transistor that should be outputting low is now outputting high, for example. With a controlled temperature from the hot plate, runners are able to control the consistency at which they will get desirable results from the glitch, due to the effects it has on RAM at power loss. A hot plate isn't the only way to achieve this, however, as Baku Zero was able to achieve consistent results using an ice pack to cool off his NES, again affecting the conductivity, and by finding a specific cooler temperature, he produced the glitch without risking burning down his house. This all came to a head when Pirohiko, Baku Zero, Itshi, and Lime all performed the hot plate glitch live in a race at the RTA in Japan event on December 27th, making history as the first runners to do this type of glitch in an RTA setting. I've been calling this hot plate percent as a joke, but it does raise some interesting questions.
Like, how do people figure this out? Yes, let me just put my console on a hot plate and see what it does. That is just so... Like, how? How did it went from, oh yeah, my little brother accidentally kicked my console, it corrupted the save, and I got max level characters, to, oh yeah, I'll reproduce that glitch by just putting my console on a hot plate. How? How do you make that connection? It's incredible. Yeah, I don't speedrun this game, and I don't speedrun many games, but I still think it's interesting to see what speedrunners do to a game and system in order to break them to get the result they want. And this right here, it just seems so far out there, you know? Manipulating the temperature to get the desired, you know, electrical surge or whatever in the hardware, that is some, you know, wow. Mind-blowing shit.
As normally, anything that affects hardware is banned in speedrunning. So I'll leave the question to you. Do you think this should be allowed in the any % category? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you know that Mario Kart 64 had a huge number of glitches found by the same runner back in the 90s? Or that some records in Mario Kart have lasted for over a decade? If you're interested, check out these videos I've made on the subjects. If you wish to support the content, check out my Patreon page, and be sure to follow on Twitter.
Man, you're lucky to just play the game. Yeah, I never played any of these earlier Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior games. Yeah, it was called Dragon Warrior in the US, wasn't it? But Dragon Warrior 3 was hard to grab, right? Because it came out so late. 4 was hard to get. I didn't even know there was a 4. You don't think... Oh, do you have it?
Or join the Discord for all the recent updates and happenings. Until next time.
But yeah, this is insane. So well, this guy, you know, haven't really seen his stuff. I'll give him a sub. He seems to be making some interesting videos. I like when I find channels like this. So, you know, he's gonna get a sub. And, you know, I'll just link him to in the chat. So if anyone wanna take a look and follow the channel too. Yeah, let me just take a look at what he has there. It took Sonic 2 speedrunners 30 years to break the game. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Let's see. I do know I've been drinking. Oh yeah, you've been chilling out with some nice beers. Yeah, I know you like to do that. Have that dehydration. Redeem spammed. Yeah, I was shit drunk on Friday because I went to a music festival. Oh, did you ever listen to the band I sent you in the Discord, Furball? I don't know if that's your type of music, some alt rock, but I like that band a lot. Alright, release here. Alright, I'm a legit drive now. See y'all later. Alright, Aki, have a safe trip, and again, once again, enjoy the birthday party. Hope you have fun. Hold on, I didn't answer a message here. Because I'm gonna go see a friend later today. So, you know, I won't be able to stream for much longer, but I'm probably gonna stay on for a little while. Just have to, you know, see whenever he thinks it's okay that I jump on over. Let's see, I just gotta check something real quick. My God, hold on. Oh my God, hold on. There we go, finally. But yeah, so take a field trip to your friend's place. I'm not gonna record my friend's place, you know. But yeah, I am kinda curious about Sonic 2. I used to play this game a lot as a kid.
Over the last 2 years, a revolution has happened in Sonic 2 speedrunning. Previous strategies that were thought to be task exclusive have not only been performed by humans, but have been made consistent enough to be included in runs. Today we'll be looking at the event that led to all of these tool-assisted strats being adapted for runs, diving deep on the most fantastic ones, and seeing just how far the rabbit hole goes. I hope you enjoy today's video.
Yeah, like, I'm not a big of a speedrunner myself, but I do enjoy watching, like, seeing the games being broken and just what people are able to do, because it's so impressive, really, because, my God. The only games I try to speedrun is SM64 and Super Mario Odyssey, and also Ocarina of Time and Link's Awakening remake for Switch. The Link's Awakening remake for Switch is super fun, and it was actually relatively easy to learn the speedrun, but hard to master because the tricks are, you know, precise. You love that too? Yeah, it's like impressive to see what people are able to do. And just how they figure out all this stuff, man, it's crazy. Ooh, that's some broken stuff.
Before we see why speedrunners are losing sleep trying to break Sonic, let's keep you from losing your hair with this video's sponsor, Keeps. Keeps is an online subscription service that helps men keep their hair. They offer clinically proven treatments that fight the symptoms of hair loss and keep your hairline.
As you can see, I'm really struggling with my
Let's face it,
hairline.
2 out of 3 men will face hair
Isn't
loss by
really
the time they're
targeting marketing
35,
right here.
and
I've,
Keeps
you know,
offers doctor-recommended
the hair
treatment
loss.
plans that their
It's really getting
physicians
to
will
me.
help
You know,
select
it's.
to meet your hair needs.
I'm nervous.
If you're not
I
sure
might
on
need
what
to invest
product
in
best
this. You
fits your
know,
needs,
I
don't
might need to
worry,
pick up on
because
this
Keeps'
offer.
team of medical
This is,
professionals are available 24/7
not good.
to
It's
help
not looking
support
good.
you on keeping your hair permanent. And each treatment plan comes with a full year of unlimited messaging, so you can talk with your prescribing doctor anytime. Hair loss stops.
Yeah, it's like,
to get 50%
dude,
off your
why
first
would you even
order,
promote
go to
this?
keeps.com
All that
slash
hairs,
Abisoft, or click
thickening
the link in the description.
thickening shampoo.
That
Hold on.
order, go to
Yeah. Oh, it's all bullshit, man.
slash Abisoft, or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com slash Abisoft.
Oh.
And with that, let's get in.
Like, yeah, I can accept when people promote, like, the manscape, you know, the ball shaving stuff, the face cleaning stuff. Yeah, okay, there might be something to that. But hair, like, preventing hair loss, regrowing your hair, no, that's just snake oil, man.
Into the video. Before we jump into how these task strats
come
became
on,
possible,
don't
there are a
promote
few
that
glitch
shit,
mechanics
man.
we need to go over: zips, level wraps, and screen wraps. Zips are the most famous trick in the classic Sonic series and are quite easy to understand. Walls in Sonic
Yeah, I've
2
seen that
push
spray on
against
thing
Sonic
too.
with a
What
force
the
in the
fuck?
opposite direction from which he is pushing against them. This is designed to
scared
keep
of
Sonic
shavers,
out,
man?
but in certain circumstances, it has the opposite effect. If Sonic manages...
Okay, yeah, like, I mean, hey, a regular razor works well enough for me, and I think that's too much information. I don't need a whole manscaping kit. I don't need a, you know, ball toner. What the fuck, man?
To clip into a wall and presses the opposite direction of where he is entering,
Just give me
the
some
game
double
gets
dash or
tricked into
something.
thinking you're
Yeah.
entering the wall from that new direction. So when it applies the force to keep you out, it actually sends you deeper into the wall, achieving what is known as a zip.
You know,
level wraps are made
I've
possible
accidentally
by
done
zips,
these, like,
and they are
zips
unique glitches
when playing
that
the
send
game.
you to the end of the level, hence the name.
I haven't
They
taken
work
to
by
end of the
having
level,
Sonic go past the leftmost boundary of the
but
stage,
take me
which
to
in the
random
game's
locations
memory
in the
is
level.
stored as a number less than 0, but due to how it stores Sonic's position coordinates, it ends up being a very large positive number.
There's no
This
situation where I
positive
cannot
number
see
is
myself
correlated
cutting the
to
old
far
tag.
right of the stage, so if you're able
Yeah.
to go past the leftmost bounds, you'll typically be ported near the end of whatever area you're at. These aren't possible on all levels for technical reasons, but when they are, it's one of the coolest tricks to see executed. Screen wraps are a sister trick to level wraps, except instead of using the X coordinates and moving left to right, they work with the Y coordinates and go up and down. Screen wraps are more particular than level wraps in that the vertical coordinates they use are tied to the camera instead of the overall level. The concept is the same. Just above the camera are
Be
coordinates
nice, but also
smaller than
uncomfortable.
0, which
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Sonic's
you know,
position are again
when, like,
treated as large
the slime
positive
starts to
numbers.
grow out again,
So if
he's
you
a little
manage to
itchy.
get above the
Yeah,
camera,
I
it
know
will
that. You
teleport
gotta
Sonic to the positive
maintain.
number coordinates and then scroll the screen down to that position. One of the intended
don't need-
features of the
Yeah,
camera
same
is
here.
that only
I'm
objects
single
in
as
its view are
fuck.
loaded into the game, meaning that
There
any
aren't
object
anyone
off screen isn't loaded.
going
so while
near
the
my,
camera is scrolling
nether
to
region
catch up with Sonic,
anytime
you can
soon.
move through objects until it arrives, which can lead to sequence breaking. Screen wraps do have one condition. They are only possible on levels that wrap around infinitely vertically, which means that you can fall infinitely without dying, so they are limited in application to just a few levels. And with that out of the way, we're ready to look at our first strat.
Okay, let's look at this.
There was one event that preceded the task strat revolution that we need to look at, because it was the catalyst event that motivated runners to look into setups for strategies that were thought to be task only, and that's the Summer Haze Metropolis 1 setup. Found by Summer Haze in December of 2020, the Summer Haze setup saved 7 seconds over the old strat that used zips to get through a couple doors. So let's break that down first so we can come to an understanding of why the Summer Haze setup was so revolutionary. Metropolis is full of buttons that open doors and pistons that act as springs to help Sonic navigate the level, but 2 of the larger pistons act as a death hazard if you're caught between them and the ceiling, which is perfect for speedrunning. If you get below the pistons, there is a 2-frame window when they are descending, where you can jump to get pushed into the wall. If you are in a wall and not pressing a direction, there won't be any expulsion force applied to Sonic, but there's still the issue of the door to our right, since if we try to zip while it's closed, Sonic will die. But this is where Tails comes in. The door requires a character to be to the left of it and within a certain distance for it to open, and unfortunately for Tails, this puts him in the crush zone of the pistons. With Tails' noble sacrifice, we're able to zip to the right, but we're not out of the woods just yet, since there is a chance the game can soft lock if things aren't executed properly. While zipping, you normally maintain your speed when you exit the wall, but this wall is an exception and requires you to do something called a zip jump to avoid soft locking, which is a pause buffer jump to maintain zip speed when exiting the wall. If the zip jump and the inputs that follow it are incorrect, you'll get stuck inside of the wall and soft lock. But if you get through, there's one thing left: nut clip. Nut clip is a screen wrap that unloads the nut on the screw in front of you. Once it
So is that what we're gonna call, a shaving accident down in the region? Oh, I just had a little nut clip. Oh my god.
It's unloaded, you have a 4-frame window to perform a jump, and if everything is correct, you'll clip through the ground. If you can perform the piston zip and nut clip, it's possible to finish the level in 41 seconds, with this being considered one of the hardest strats due to all of the small frame windows you needed to hit, along with Tails being in the right spot. Using the Summer Haze setup, it's possible to save as much as 7 seconds over the old method, and that's because it drastically improves the frame windows and eliminates the chance of soft locking. In the old strat, you had a 2-frame window to jump once you were below the piston, but the new setup takes advantage of something called RAM storage. It's quite complicated to explain what's going on with RAM storage under the hood, but all we need to know is that the game thinks we should be walking, so it plays the walk animation, but we're actually spin dashing. While in this state, you need to wait for 3 walk cycle animations to pass, then pause on a specific animation frame, which lasts for 9 frames itself, so it's quite forgiving. Out of the pause, you need to release the spin dash, then hold left when you get to the middle of the pistons. This gets you to clip into the ground, allowing you to perform the zip. The other great thing about this setup is that because the spin dash happens so fast, the screen shifts and causes the door to deload, which saves time since you no longer need to wait for Tails to get into position. The rest of the level proceeds the same as before, but it can't be understated how rare it is to find an easier setup for a trick that saves as much time as this does. And with Summer Haze showing that it was possible, the community got to work. A lot of the strats we're going to be looking at originated from a 2017 task by Zergriff and Aglar. At the time, they were thought to be beyond the limit of what was achievable RTA. But as we're about to see, that couldn't have been further from the truth. So let's start with the first strat to be assimilated, the Hilltop 1 task zip. Hilltop Zone occurs just before the midpoint of the run and is relatively straightforward with some tight platforming and a couple teeter-totter tricks. The music in this zone is pretty banger. That had you use invincibility frames from touching the lava to clip into the wall and zip to the area of the level with the rising floor. This strat was quite fast and was known as the extended zip since it bypassed an extra wall compared to the previous strat known as the fast zip. But the method adapted from the task saved 4 seconds over the extended zip. So let's break it down. The level starts off similarly. Get to the section with the descending lift and get iframes from touching the lava. We never covered how you clip into the wall once you have iframes, and it's pretty cool. The lift that you jumped off of falls from above and pushes you into the lava. The reason you don't die is because the collision detection for the lava doesn't extend very far below the top of the lava sprite, so when you're inside, Sonic won't keep getting hit for damage. Once you're good and warm, you'll stand 1 pixel from the wall and charge a 1-tap spin dash, which has a speed value of 0%. This keeps Sonic in place, and if it's released on a certain frame while holding left, Sonic will bypass two walls and maintain zip speed, which is just the amount of speed needed to jump over the rising wall while it's off screen, which saves getting hit by it and having to charge another spin dash. This can save 5 seconds over the old strat if done correctly, which is huge since the entire level was barely over 30 seconds long using the previous method. The time this saved would end up being a fraction of the combined time from all of the other improvements that followed, because the floodgates were now opened, and more task strats were becoming a reality.
Yep, Ionix.
Between the Hilltop task zip being found in March of 2021 and this video's uploading, a total of 4 strats were realized from...
Just watching speedrun of it? No, I had a little been sitting around talking for a little while. But yeah, right now we watched a couple of them, because, you know, I watched one, and then someone mentioned another speedrun. They kind of just been leaning into that. But I've just been sitting here chilling, yeah, talking to people, and just watching some videos.
And Aglar tasks, with a further 5 being found because of those developments. Some of these are variations over tech we've already looked at.
But honestly, there are some other videos I want to watch too that are not speedrunning videos. Are you familiar with that channel that's called, let's see if I can find them again. It's, I know I'm like ADD in this now, just jumping between things. Yeah, chilling is good. It's not. I decided I won't have like these chill Sunday streams where I just sit around talking with the community, watch some videos. Yeah, Did You Know Gaming? They have some pretty interesting videos. I want to check out some of these too, once we're done with this speedrunning one. Like, there's some various fun facts about various games. So that's also on the list there.
So in the interest of time, let's look at some of the more unique ones. And what better place to start than the new hardest strat in the run, the Casino Night 2 level wrap.
That's what I'm trying to do, but my PC broke. Yeah, that sucks. Were you able to fix it? Did you get it up and running again?
Prior to a setup for level wrap being found, the strat for Casino Night 2 was almost entirely glitchless, consisting of precise platforming and well-managed speed, except for 2 instances of flipper clips. The first is possible because Sonic is moving so fast that his sprite doesn't register as colliding with the flipper, and the second is because the flippers aren't aligned to block Sonic if you approach the gap from a pixel-precise position. The fastest completion with this strat clocked in at 50 seconds by JoeyBaby69, but the level wrap from the task could potentially cut 12 seconds. So let's dive in. There was so much interest in making the level wrap viable that 3 different setups were found for it. The first saves 8 seconds and requires 4 frame-perfect inputs. The second takes 7 frame-perfect inputs and saves 11 seconds. But the third saves 12 seconds and takes only 6 frame-perfect inputs. Easily the hardest strat in the game, the 6 frame perfect level wrap has 2 criteria for it to work.
Alright.
Flip into the ground at the first blue block you encounter and zip to the left until you're overlapping with a speed shoes monitor, then flip into the wall at the monitor to achieve the level wrap. The reason you can't go to the monitor in the beginning is because there's no way to use it to flip into the ground if you're not zipping. But with zip speed, the camera lags behind your position, so the monitor isn't loaded, and when it catches up, it loads when you're inside of it, so you get pushed into the wall. This seems easy enough, but unfortunately for runners, the setup for both clips are subpixel dependent, meaning that the precision to execute them is normally beyond what a human is capable of. So what are subpixels, and how is this possible? Every pixel on the screen consists of 256 subpixels, which are a variable value that helps smooth out movement. Pressing left or right on the controller adds or subtracts a set amount from your subpixels, and if they go below 0, you will move 1 pixel to the left, with Sonic moving to the right if they go over 255. It is possible to get an estimate of your X subpixels by tapping a direction for a few frames and seeing how long it takes you to move, with the same being true for Y subpixels, except that they are affected by anything that changes your height, so getting a read on them is effectively impossible. If your subpixels are off, any number of things could happen, from the blue block zip failing, to soft locking inside the wall, and even getting something known as a half zip. So you're probably thinking, how did something this precise get implemented? And the answer is that the community brute forced it. Zaxxon, Eondis, and JoeyBaby would painstakingly find frame-perfect pause buffers and inputs that had your subpixels be in the correct position for the level wrap to work. But finding the setup is only half the battle. Executing it.
Don, you're awesome, man. Super chill as fuck. Keep that shit up, man. Hey, thank you for the kind word Verbal. And hey, I can say the same about you. Watching your stream is super chill. I love it when I can come in like late in the evening, just sit and watch your stream while I wind down before I go to bed. You're super chill and you usually talk about interesting stuff. So yeah, once again, I want to give you another shout out because just in case anyone missed your shout out. Maybe we can get another clip of your collection there. Hey? Oh no, you're doing some... Wait, what are you playing? Zoom in! Enhanced! Enhance! The picture! Yeah, that's your workshop, eh? Yeah.
I don't know, this... I wish they would have had like a Texas Hold'em like this, cause then it would be fun. Like, this is boring.
Yeah. But yeah, he has an awesome gaming collection, and he does console repairs, so definitely go check him out. He's a super chill streamer. I try to be chill, but you get to go. yeah. Oh, that was a spicy clip right there. Oh yeah, Verbal earlier. The adult machine. The adult machine. Yeah, that's a fitting name. But yeah, speaking of which, I am considering buying a new PC. I was talking about that earlier too, Verbal. So I might do that investment. It's gonna cost me $2.5K US.
Is another matter entirely. This is a chart for a setup that Joey found. Runners are required to memorize all of these frame windows and inputs to pull off the strat by looking at the visual cues it depicts, then trying to replicate what they see in-game.
Yeah.
If all of this is done correctly, you'll execute a level wrap. And as I mentioned in the explanation, you're teleported to a specific location, and it just so happens to be the boss room for Casino Night 2. There are a lot of other strats that were realized in this time period. The first act of Casino Night also involves subpixel manipulation. Originally, it was thought to be TAS only, but one of the authors of the 2017 TAS pulled it off in 2016 for an IL record. And when the floodgates were opened, runners found an RTA setup. Once again,
you can build something cheaper? Unfortunately, no, because it would be even more expensive if I try to get the part individually. You know, things are a little bit more expensive here in Norway, so that price, or was it? Let me just quickly check. Yeah, I have the PC right here. Yeah, this is the one, and so yeah, 22K Norwegian. That was the USD. Okay, so it's $2,275 US. Okay, so it's not that bad, but pretty pricey. Yeah, it's even cheaper now to get a pre-built than it is to buy the individual parts, unfortunately. And it can deliver in 3 days, so I'm really tempted to get this. But I never buy top of the line. Yeah, it's like the one I have now, that was a top of the line PC, and I've had it for 8 years. So, it does pay off in the sense that I can still play most games on it, and it runs well. So if I buy that PC, I'll probably have it for another 8-9 years.
Making the impossible possible. Looking at Aqua Ruin 2, it had a similar TAS zip to Hilltop 1 made RTA viable, and both chemical plant acts were caught up in the TAS revolution as well. All of these strats use tech we've already covered, but if we look at the level that started this all, we'll see that it had further developments. This is the Metro 1 level wrap. The Summer Haze setup eliminated a lot of the risk of the old zip strategy and made it possible to finish the level in 40 seconds. But motivated by all of the work on the other tracks, Joey found a strat that saved an additional 13 seconds. And it's possible due to a trick called Slope Glitch. Slope Glitch allows you to get zip speed, which can enable level wraps, and it's activated by having an object that Sonic is standing on get
My shit rigged too? Do you just keep... Yeah, I had no problems playing in any new games, but it does get a little laggy if I try to stream while playing a game on a PC, because, streaming does take a little bit of the... It requires a little bit of the PC. And also, I want to get into VR gaming, so I want to buy a VR headset, but I'm gonna need a juicy rig for that.
Deloaded. When this happens, the game gets confused and doesn't know what to do since Sonic is standing on an object that no longer exists. This allows him to stand in midair, but more importantly, if he's on a downward slope, he's able to walk through the ground while it's active. To activate Slope Glitch in Metropolis Act 1, you need to go to the same pistons the previous clip was performed on and have Sonic duck, which makes the camera move down. With the camera adjusted, you'll ride the piston up, which pushes Sonic and the piston off screen, which achieves two things. It deloads the piston, putting Sonic into Slope Glitch, and it pushes him above the top of the screen, which triggers a screen wrap. With the screen wrap active, the wooden floor gets deloaded since it's off screen, and Sonic starts to fall until the camera catches back up. When it does, you're conveniently near a slope, which means Slope Glitch finally comes into play, enabling Sonic to clip into the ground and zip to the left. Once you're zipping, all that's left is to do a zip jump to push Sonic beyond the left screen boundary. This triggers the level wrap for an appropriately glitched ending, clocking in at 27 seconds.
Look at the
and
messed
saving
up
a whopping
goalpost.
13 over the Summer Haze strat. Since 2020, Sonic 2
Yeah,
went from being
I want to
moderately
get
broken
I want to
to a
get into
heaping
VR
mess
gaming.
of glitches and tricks that demand absolute perfection in execution, with
No.
only a handful of runners being
Play
crazy
some
enough
Beat
to go
Saber.
for all of them in a run. It just goes to show that in
VR chat.
speedrunning, you should never say never, and that the impossible is constantly made possible through sheer determination and pure willpower. There are still strats that are considered tasks only, and only time will tell if they is all of
This, though. Oh my god, memorizing this shit? Oh no, count me out. Count me out. But yeah, see, my game rig is hooked up. It's just not a game console. Yeah, see, that's my plan. If I get this new PC, I will keep my old PC that has my Elgato capture card in it, because I have an internal capture card. And I'll just hook my new PC up to my old PC as a console, and then my old rig can just focus on just crunching the numbers and focus on streaming, while my new rig can just put all the power into gaming without having to sacrifice any performance to run the stream. And that's why my stream didn't crash tonight, just to get... Yeah, that's also, a good thing. Like, if something happens to your gaming PC while you're streaming, and you have a separate computer that streams, then yeah, your stream stays up, so you can still, talk to chat about what happened, and you don't have to restart your entire stream. That is good. That is good. So yeah, I don't know, I'm still gonna keep my old PC. I wanna try... Feet Saber? That sounds a little bit sketchy, you know. Oh. There's a lot of things I wanna do. It's like, do I want to spend all my money on the new PC now? Or do I want to, sort out my gaming collection? Because I've been thinking I want to, get my old games on display in a room I have back there. Because right now, all my old retro games are in a cardboard box. Did I fix anything? Yeah, I saw you were dealing with it when I dropped by your stream earlier. Oh, speaking of which, just gonna check something here real quick. Yeah, like all my gaming collection or old games, most of them are in like cardboard boxes in the back room. I can actually go show you guys. Let me just set up my iPhone, because I set up my iPhone to record a camera and send it to my OBS. So let me just find that. Hold on. Let me just see here. Let me just see if I can get this working. Where's my OBS? There it is. Just need to... Let me just test it here. I can show you guys my collection. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, so now my phone is connected, as you can see. Ta-da! There you guys are. Here's the OBS. I just gotta adjust the sound a little bit. Hold on, so you can hear me. Because I'll be walking into the other room. And yeah, if you guys can see that, I need to turn on the microphone so this can record. Hold on. Just checking the levels right now. It seems okay. Let me try. Okay. Now it's the phone capturing. Does it sound alright? Is it too loud? Is it yeah, I have 3 monitors. This is my old, like, 2005 flat screen monitor. And this is my gaming monitor. It's a 1080p 144Hz one. And this is my old monitor as well. And I also have my TV back there hooked up to my TV. And that's my CRT. There's like some stuff I have like here. Sound like a robot. Okay, so the sound isn't good. Hold on a second. Let me just try something. It's probably. Okay, change the settings a little bit. Huh? Bottle of lotion and tissue you saw? I don't have that in here. What are you talking about? Huh? There's no tissue lotion bottle in here. Gotta keep those hands hydrated. Yeah. Okay, I changed the settings. Now it's like lower resolution, but it should stabilize the FPS, hopefully. I'm looking at like a stream preview in the stream manager. You know, but now I'm talking to my microphone. I'm gonna swap over to the iPhone camera. Hold on. I mean iPhone mic. Hold on. Okay, so how is the sound now? Still bad? Still bad? I changed the setting in OBS. It's still bad. Okay, that sucks. I thought it would be a little bit better. Well, I guess I can't show you. I want to take a trip out into the back room and just show you. I mean, I can still walk out there and I just come back real quick. And I can show you guys. So hold on. I'm gonna bring my iPad with me so I can still read you guys in chat and see my stream. So hold on. Yeah, but the moment I turn off my camera, like now I'm back on the microphone. So I guess it's just like great audio whenever I'm on an actual microphone, but not on the cam, I guess. Because now I'm gonna switch again. Now we're back in the iPhone. Oh, let me just listen to it. I'm just gonna sound trippy, but let me just take a listen. I'm gonna turn on the volume on my stream. Okay, yeah, that is Mr. Roboto. Fuck. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick walk out there. Hold on, and I can show you guys quickly what it looks like out there. And I guess since this didn't really do anything, I can just take it back up again. Get the widescreen. There we go. All right. So yeah, quickly, I'm gonna be right back. All right, that was a quick little peek. Yeah, so everything's just lying out there like in a big mess, and I haven't really gotten to do anything about it. Yeah, I didn't have the audio on because it was just robotic. I just wanted to show you guys quickly what the room looks like. So what I want to do is just actually get some proper, go to IKEA, buy some proper bookshelves, and like remove like the big desk table you saw, had everything like just stacked up on, and have some proper shelves so I can put all the games in, and maybe even put a little, have a little, TV stand so I can put my CRT on and just turn that into a little retro room. Because, right, as you saw, everything was like, I had some games, the N64, Super Nintendo games, and PS1 games up top, but everything else is like in the cardboard boxes underneath, because I don't have enough room for it. At least I have my consoles on display, but that's about it. So I want to fix that room up a little bit. So that's definitely on my agenda at some point. Just gonna check some bus times. As I said earlier, I'm gonna go see a friend later today, so not too long. So I'm gonna take the bus. Let me just see here. Let's see. Oh, public transport. I can't remember time for the life of me. Oh my god. Wrong app. Need to show a piece of my stuff. Hard to do though. Yeah, but if you do the same as I do, you hook up your phone just so that it sends the video feedback to your OBS. And yeah, you can show it around. You walk behind those shelves of yours. Because I'm curious about what you have back there. I haven't seen the back room or the back shelves. And since you're already since you are in the same room, you don't need to worry too much about the audio settings. That's the thing. Okay. see. Okay, sorry about this. Okay. You take care and have fun too. Yeah. I'm not gonna go just yet. I want to take some of these videos. Audio was fine, but the video sucked. Yeah, so I have a setting in I don't know what app you're using, but I can at least lower resolution, so I'm not streaming at full 720p or anything. I was sending like a lower res signal. I just made sure it's like widescreen, and then I also set in the OBS that the it should be like use low bandwidth, and because if not, it was laggy for me too. All right, let's see. 1 month ago, some Nintendo 64 game facts. Why not? Oh wait, Pokemon Origin had 65,535 versions. What? Hold on, what the hell? What's this?
Did you know? Game Freak originally intended for every copy of Gen 1 to be personalized, but Shigeru Miyamoto told them to make different color versions instead.
Wait, what? They want to have every copy of the game to be individualized? Oof, my god.
In Gen 1's release version, when you boot up a new game, it randomly assigns you a trainer ID number between 1 and 65,535. This ID system is actually a leftover from a time when there were 65,535 different versions planned. Last
Holy
year,
shit.
Did You Know Gaming spent thousands of dollars to make a video series about a lost Pokédex only released in Japan in an official 1996 book simply titled Pokédex, which we had translated by Nobuga Sawada, the man who translated the original Pokemon games. That Pokédex book also includes an 8-page interview with every developer who worked on Pokemon, including programmer Takenori Ota, where he says, "We also considered having each game generate a random ID number the first time it was booted up, and that number would determine which Pokemon appeared in the game." This crumb of information piqued our curiosity, so DYKG's been translating every Japanese interview we could get our hands on ever since, now totaling over 100 pages. Eventually, we found a little more info in the November 1997 issue of Famimaga 64, this time from Game Freak's founder Satoshi Tajiri. Looking back on
But yeah, Furball, didn't you say, I remember you mentioned this, don't you have a copy of Pokemon Red with a legit Mew on it that you got from an event? I think I remember you mentioning that. We should voice chat on Discord or something sometime. I think that may be interesting at least. Oh yeah. Just sitting on your stream maybe. Just sit there and talk about old games. Yeah, that could be fun. I love talking about old games. Like, I don't have a collection anywhere near as impressive as yours, but I do, and the old games I do have, I enjoy them a lot.
Pokemon's development.
Which one? No, Pokemon Red, the OG one. Was it Red or Blue? Where you had like a legit Mew from some event?
Tajiri said, "The shape of a forest, the Pokemon that appear. I wanted to make a game that would be different for everyone, but it was difficult. So I went to consult with Shigeru Miyamoto
yeah.
from Nintendo.
I wouldn't mind having
We
a
ended
sit
up
down, have a
deciding to
chat.
make it so depending
about
on the
stuff.
color, whether red or green, the worlds would be parallel but different. This statement told us that not only were the Pokemon in each cartridge all different, but even Kanto itself was, with locations changing based on your trainer ID number. Eventually, we translated the biggest Satoshi Tajiri interview ever published, which was conducted in May 2000 and printed in a 600-page book called...
Oh, it was blue. Yeah, but it's still Gen 1. Man, that's a valuable card you have right there. OG Pokemon Gen 1 blue with a legit Mew. Ooh, that's a collector's Clenodium right there.
Pokemon story. The interview itself is 34 pages long, and we'll publish it in its entirety in the future, but for now, we just want to highlight the part where Tajiri says every cartridge was like a different world. He said, "So we randomly assigned auto-generated ID numbers from 1 to 65,000 to every game cartridge. With the cartridge IDs randomly determined, Pokemon caught in those games would all carry that ID number. So long as someone wasn't trading with 65,000 different people, the odds of trading with someone with the same ID were unlikely. With both parties having different numbers, their Pokemon would be entering different worlds when traded. Then, once the number is assigned, it would never change throughout the course of the game." I talked to Miyamoto about how we make players understand.
Well, what? You also have a legit Mew? Is that what are you gonna come in and say that? Because I know you also have like an impressive collection of stuff. It was installed from a Super 6 circuit board that stuck out of a SNES. Man, that must have been so cool to go there and have them do that to your cartridge. And see that setup. Man. I was just a wee lad back then, so you know, I couldn't have attended anything like that. But man, that must have been an experience.
And that every cartridge is different when they buy one, and he told me the system sounded interesting, but it was a bit difficult
you have a legit
to grasp.
Ooh,
he said if players
that's
can't
also good.
tell just by looking at it, then it won't work out, and it would be better if the game's color or appearance were different. I was shocked when I was allowed to do that. I told him it would really help me out if I could. So it was from trying to differentiate ID numbers that the idea to symbolically change the colors came about. I thought we should do it, but alter the colors for real. We needed to do more to make the different color games have all kinds of details in them that were a bit different. Here, Tajiri says 65,000, but the exact number was 65,535, which is the highest number that can be represented by an unsigned 16-bit binary number. Or, to put it in simpler terms, 65,535 is the biggest number you can use on a Game Boy without slowing down the entire game and overcomplicating the program.
Ah, that's
there
like
were
the
only
code
9
limit.
developers working on
You want that card? Yeah, which game is it that you have the Celebi on? It's bank legal, but it's from the 3DS version Crystal, who saved... Oh, you moved it to the fist. Oh, nice. Nice. There was no shell, and the on-screen text was all in Japanese. Ooh. Yeah, imagine having that card, though. Imagine having it, and it still functions, so you can actually transfer Mews to cards.
Pokemon, so it's difficult to imagine they'd try to build 65,000 different versions of Kanto by hand, especially since it took them 6 years just to make the base game. So, Game Freak probably would have had to use randomly generated landscapes, similar to what they did a few years later in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games on Game Boy Advance and DS. Randomly generated environments were possible on the original Game Boy and can be found in games like Dragon Quest Monsters and Shiren the Wanderer, but those games came out after Pokemon had already released. Though there was at least one Game Boy title with random dungeons that came out before Pokemon, a 1991 game called Cave Noir. However, it was so simple that Tajiri probably would not have been satisfied with that level of quality. And his idea was slightly different, in that the game was not going to randomize during gameplay, but rather all at once right from the beginning, which meant Tajiri was swimming in uncharted waters, and it sounded like he was having difficulties wrapping his head around such an ambitious idea.
That is really ambitious, you know. Imagine thinking you want to make over 65 different copies of a game. Holy shit. Talk about, you know, trying to revolutionize something. I can try... Yeah! Yeah, because you can back up any cartridge game, can't you? You have that, like, thing that lets you transfer the ROM file from the cartridge over to the PC. That is, that's actually, you know, super handy because, yeah, because the battery on the old Game Boy cards will eventually run out and need replaced, and if that runs out, that's bye-bye save file, goodbye Mew.
Pokemon did break new ground in many ways, like being the first game to allow trading through the Game Boy Link cable, but producing 65,000 Kantos would have been significantly more complicated.
Yeah.
In that 34-page interview, Tajiri went on to say that after Miyamoto convinced him to give up on the idea for 65,000 different versions of Gen 1, he still wanted to make between 5 and 7 different color versions, but he realized even 7 iterations of the same game would be tricky. Not only in terms of development, but even outside forces like the factory not wanting to produce multiple cartridges and packaging for what they viewed as an identical product. So eventually he had no choice but to settle for less. In Satoshi Tajiri's biographical manga, there's a 6-page interview where Miyamoto tells us what happened next. He says, "I came up with the slogan, 'The game begins when you choose a cartridge,' and we made models for 3 colors, red, green, and blue. Then later in development, we narrowed it down to just 2 versions, and it looked like we were going to use red and blue, but we ultimately decided that Venusaur's design was so good that we released red and green instead. And so, over the course of a few months, 65,000 variations were whittled down to just 2, featuring different version-exclusive Pokemon, different encounter rates, and various other small changes, like which Pokemon you can buy at the game corner. This format of releasing 2 different color versions of nearly identical games continued into all future generations. However, it's a fun thought experiment to consider how different the series might have been if Miyamoto left Game Freak to their own devices.
I can't imagine trying to collect all the copies of the Pokemon games then. Oh, I'm gonna have all 65,000 copies. So you did that live with the SNES Zelda just yesterday? Oh, really? I need to check out the VOD then, because that's like some interesting stuff to look at, Furball. Like all the repair stuff you do, I love watching that shit. I haven't done many repairs myself, but you know, just watching someone do it and they know what they're doing, that's awesome. That reminds me, someone made this thing called a Pokewild that puts you on a randomized island that has a concept. So maybe this is where they got inspiration from then. They want to recreate that original idea for the Pokemon games.
Devices. If there had been 65,000 different versions of Kanto, presumably the same format would have been carried over into Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and every other Pokemon region. Just imagine playing with your friends and looking over their shoulder to see how different their world is compared to yours.
It would be
to put
cool.
it in more modern terms, imagine watching your favorite Let's Player as they explore a game with details you'll likely never experience firsthand.
Yeah.
And just think about what it would have done for replayability. But these are far from the only secrets we've discovered on our journey, so we figured we'd share all the other development secrets within those 100 pages of interviews, like that Gen 1 almost didn't have multiplayer Pokemon battles, and that the only player-to-player interactions would have been buying, selling, and trading
I remember
Pokemon
this
to
ad.
and with each other. In
This was on
fact,
TV here in
multiplayer
Norway.
battles only barely made it in at the last minute because Nintendo demanded it, and since the Big N was funding development, Game Freak had no choice but to comply. But they did it in the laziest way possible, a system where you just watched Pokemon fight on their own, with zero input from the player. Gen 1 programmer Shigeki Morimoto explains it best in that 1996 Pokédex book, saying, "President Tajiri had wanted us to implement battling for a while, but I personally didn't find the idea very interesting, and just thought it would be a pain to program. It looked like we would run out of time and would have to scrap the battling feature, but Nintendo made it clear they wanted battles in the game, so we had to make it happen. So I just thought, well, no choice then. It has to be done." And the early battles were something you just watched. You would just see there was a battle and who won and who lost. We showed that to Nintendo, and the surveys we got back called it boring. I guess they were right, but we were cutting it close to the deadline, trying to add in battles that the player
Well, you're
commands.
wrong!
Ultimately,
Yeah,
it's
Nintendo
what
just
everyone
came in
wanted,
there.
so we got it to work with the link cable.
Hey,
and
good
made it
morning,
a reality.
Kay.
Satoshi Tajiri was also in that
Hello,
interview and helped
how are you
explain
today?
how
What's
in-game
up?
currency would have helped make up for the lack of PvP battles. Every Pokemon would have had a specified monetary value, and you'd purchase them at in-game stores or buy and sell with your friends. According to Tajiri, the only reason the focus on cash ended up being cut was due to hardware limitations. He said, in
You're saying, huh? Oh, yeah, you aren't used to seeing me up this early, are you? I've had breakfast. For once, I'm up before ya. But yeah, okay, go, enjoy your breakfast. Hey, is it a, croissant? I'm just messing with ya. Hey, I hope you enjoy your breakfast.
Pokemon's early development, you could buy Pokemon with money, but that resulted in the player focusing on saving money to buy them, and less motivation to struggle catching them in the wild. We also thought about making one player pay money in addition to their trade when there was an obvious difference in the value of two Pokemon being traded, but implementing Pokemon monetary values was beyond the limits of our programming. Transferring money in the game is very different from wiring money in real life, and there were difficulties getting it to work on the Game Boy. There were just too many obstacles to overcome to make it happen. We had no choice but to focus on what we wanted most and give up on the rest. In this case,
that
being
commercial
able
was
to
pretty
trade
brutal.
Pokemon
I remember
was our
it.
top priority, so we cut the monetary value feature. Adding a little more info, Game Freak developer Akihito Tamisawa wrote a book in 2000 where he says, "In the initial plan, every town had a shop that sold Pokemon, so you could buy tons of them if you had enough money. But what was once thought of as an outstanding idea to have Pokemon stores ultimately got
Thank you
cut.
for that,
In
Fable.
Gen 1's
I guess we
final
have a
build,
beer.
there are still
I just
a
got
few
water.
Pokemon you can buy, like
I got
a Magikarp
drunk enough
for
on
500
Friday.
Pokédollars, and a few more like Scyther and Porygon at the Celadon Game Corner, but buying Pokemon was originally a much more central mechanic, and we can see one of these Pokemon stores in some of Ken Sugimori's earliest concept art back when the game was still called Capsule Monsters. Even HP bars almost got cut in development. Game Freak only made action games prior to working on Pokemon.
Ooh, I played this game on stream not too long ago. This was what was it? Sparkman? Was that it? This is like the action platform on a Sega. This was an awesome game. This is a great game. And you also want a random fact about Pulse Man. That's it. Yeah. This was an awesome game. Oh yeah, all right. I'm gonna get some random facts. Let's see. I wish he got localized officially. Yeah. There's only a fan translation. Okay, this is a random one. 90% of US households have at least one remote control for the television. 8 out of 10 report losing it. Alright, that was today's random fact.
So much of Red and Green's development was spent fumbling around in the dark. They wanted to make Pokemon as simple to understand as possible. So, they removed the use of numbers wherever they could, even in Pokemon battles. In a 2019 issue of Famitsu Weekly, Junichi Masuda said,
It feels
"Of
so
course
cold
we thought
out."
Tajiri's idea was fun and exciting, but we had a problem. We didn't have any experience making RPGs. In the final game, HP is displayed with a meter, but at one point in development it was represented with text. We came up with 16 different statuses, descriptions like, they're still okay, or it's gonna get pretty bad soon. But it wasn't very interesting, so we scrapped it. And in the July 2000 edition of Nintendo Online Magazine, Masuda explained that incoming damage worked the same way with phrases like, that hurt, and that really hurt, to give players some idea of how much damage they'd taken.
That hurt.
But
That really
ultimately,
hurt.
they realized that the entire system just kinda sucked, so they
Yeah.
replaced it with the standard HP
Give me the
system
numbers.
used in most other RPGs. Another scrapped idea we want to talk about is how Gen 1 was originally played for keeps, where if you lost a battle, you lost your Pokemon.
The fact that
in
you knew?
Nintendo Online Magazine,
Yeah, I
the
guess that would be
original Pokemon
interesting.
designer
I just
Ken
like, you know,
Sugimori said
surprising
when Satoshi
myself with
Tajiri
some
first
facts.
came to him and was trying to explain the Pokemon concept, he said it would be like the Menko cards they played with when they were kids. In case you're not familiar, Menko come in lots of different shapes and sizes. Kids collect these cards and can use them to play a game sort of like battling. Then in the end, the winner gets to keep some of the loser's cards. In Famimaga 64 magazine,
heard about that
Tajiri
before.
said he originally planned for Pokemon
Thank
battles
you,
to play
Furball.
out in a
Thank you, thank
similar
you.
fashion. The interviewer
Thank you
asked,
for kind
"Don't you
words.
think it would be
You're
interesting
great too.
if when you lost a Pokemon battle, your opponent took your Pokemon, like with Menko cards?" And Tajiri replied, "Actually, I made something like that as a prototype. But in
Actually.
the end, the frustration of having Pokemon you raised
Actually.
taken away from you was too great, so I scrapped that idea." Pokemon's first generation took a lot of twists and turns over the course of its 6-year production, and it's fun to think about just how different the series might have been if they hadn't altered direction at various points in development. We know some of you prefer to read these interviews in their entirety, so today we published a bunch of them in text form. You can find links in the pinned comment below.
No, I don't.
Did you know Gaming put a ton of research into this
I
video?
just played the
So if
game.
you
I didn't
enjoyed
really
it, please give it a like
pay attention
and
to
share it with
anything
a friend. And if you want more Pokemon facts, DYKG
about
did a whole
names and
video on
whatnot.
debunking Pokemon myths you can watch right now. Want to see a real Gen 1 Japan-only lecture by Professor Oak and Bill found in this same book too? We just posted that video over on my channel, Loxton and Noggin, which you can check out here. And we also want to give a big thanks to our Japan-based translator, Jacob Newcomb, and High-Res Pokemon for...
Yeah, that was the Japan exclusive game that Game Freak made for the Sega Genesis. Oh. It's a very interesting game. Very trippy. But it's a solid ass platformer. The graphics are top notch, but some of the levels are way too trippy. It's like an acid trip. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, just look at the background, what's going on there. This is so trippy. No, I don't. I guess this is a move in Pokemon. Wait, Thunderbolt? This is not the most crazy level. Where is it? It's one of these levels that just go completely insane. Volt Tackle. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Is it this level? Yeah, the background here. Look at this. This is so trippy. My eyes were kind of hurting when I was playing this game on this stage. I do not... Yeah, like this stage was rough to get through. All the colors, all the stuff happening in the background, just the effects on the character, all the fast movement. It got a little bit too much. But the game itself was pretty awesome though. I loved the gameplay. They're really trying to, you know, I guess push the Genesis to its limit. And they did a fairly good job at that, I would say. There was a lot going on, a lot of effects and everything. And I love the sprite work. This game was pretty amazing. It's like a... It felt like a Sonic game in many ways, but just with the... But it still had like its unique charm and say identity. But it definitely felt like it was inspired by the Sonic games. But yeah, this was Japan exclusive. Yeah. This was an excellent game. And oh yeah, we were let's go see. There's some other videos I saw they had. I want to watch one more video, and then I think I'll get ready to go and meet my friend. Or wait, it's 2 p.m. now. Yeah. Yeah, Pulse Man. So, you know, yeah, there's no official physical translation of that game. So if you want to have that game in collection, you need to get like the Japanese, or the Japan, imported from Japan. But it has a fan translation, so if you play it on emulator, you can play an English fan translation of it, which is what I did. But it was super fun. Definitely a game I think would have been, you know, I would enjoy that a lot as a kid. And I really have to pee, so be right back again real quick. Ugh. Yeah, hold on. Also, one more thing. Just gonna prepare something right quick here. But yeah, so be right back real quick, real quick. All right, I'm back. But yeah, let's just put on some background. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, welcome back, Furball. But yeah, I think I need to prepare to end the stream now. But you know, it's been almost 4 hours just sitting here, talking to you guys, watching videos. So yeah, I really do think I want to make these, you know, chill Sunday streams a thing. Where I just sit here with talking to the community, talk to you guys, tell you, you know, how the week's been. Just summarize the entire, you know, maybe... Because I want to get back to my streaming schedule next week, where I stream, you know, on set time, on set days, and then every Sunday I can have a little, you know, summary. Where I talk about how I felt the streaming week went, and just, you know, have a chat with you guys. Sit down and you know, ask you guys how you been, how your weekend's been, all that. And yeah, it's been nice until, yeah, thank you I appreciate you being here, Ritz. It certainly has. It's been super chill. I enjoyed doing this. I'll definitely do more of it. Yeah, hair's looking good. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I didn't originally intend to have long hair, but you know, when the pandemic hit, I stopped going to have it cut, and now I just kind of want to let it grow, see where it takes, see how far I can grow it out before it gets too annoying. But at the same time, I kind of enjoy having long hair. I think it suits me. And yeah, Aki, you know, he collects game. Aki knows a whole lot about the old games, especially like you know, Japanese games. He seems to have a lot of knowledge about that, about them imports and whatnot. So yeah, you definitely go check him out. In fact, I'll just give him a shout out. There we go.
Okay, so real quick. So, earlier I said, Azuki, that's like a maple thing, right? Well, I'm dumb, so no. Azuki is red bean. Azuki's red bean.
Yeah, you're playing a
Most
Goemon.
likely the only reason why I got the two confused is because
I played that game.
there happens to be an
Great
Azuki,
game.
not a Hazuki, but Azuki. There's an Azuki in Nekopara who is sisters with a cat also named Maple. And for whatever reason, they blend together in my head because I am very tired and I'm also very dumb.
But yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you do have that like radio voice, Aki. Like you have that radio podcast voice. It's pleasant to listen to. Unlike my monotone, resident sleeper voice. Just like Frozen, let it grow, let it grow. Yeah. I mean, this is not as long as I've ever had my hair. When I was like a teen, around 17, 18, I had hair down to about here, down there. And then I cut it short, and I had it short like all throughout my 20s. And it's until now I started to grow it out again. Oh yeah, you guys, follow each other, share some love. It's important to try and, grow this positive community of, game collectors and gamers and, just overall great people. I'm really happy, I met so many great people while streaming. It's been a blast. I enjoyed every second. Let it just mellow through work to your voice, dude. Today was hella fun. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words, Aki. Thank you. Oh yeah. Yeah, enjoy. Yeah. I need to get. It's raining, so I need to put on some proper clothes. I'm still in my PJs, right? I'm still wearing my PJs here. I need to, get dressed, get out there, catch a bus, and be on my way. Anyway, it's just fun talking to you guys. I appreciate that. And Clutch, oh, you're coming in right at the end there. I'm just about to end. But hey, yeah, good morning, Clutch. Yeah, I'm on early. It's morning for you now. But how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let me just take a quick look here and see if anyone is online that I know or follow. Not many people on this hour, unfortunately. Let me just take a look. Maybe there's a retro streamer I can send you guys over to. I always like to raid out. Share the love. It's just after 5 AM. Oh, you're up early? Or haven't you gone to bed yet? Since the last episode of Stranger Things. Oh, were you satisfied? Without spoiling anything, were you satisfied with the final episode, the season ending? 2.5-hour episode. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. Ooh, that's a long one. Now let's see. Anyone in the retro category that can need a little bit of love? I don't want to shock anyone with the I'm getting something interesting. Let me take a little quick look around. And yeah, PJs do rule, Furball. They do. I'm a wee bit blue-balled, but overall it was good. Oh, blue-balled, eh? Yeah. I guess I'll just wait until the last season comes out, and I'll just binge watch it. I watched the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things, and now I can just wait until it's, completed. You know, I'm seeing someone on here. Let me just take a quick look. Oh, here's someone playing. Is it Oh, I haven't played these games in a long time. This is Abe. You know those we played that blue alien trying to escape. Yeah. I don't see why not. I just make sure. Is it in English?
Oh.
Speak, please. Speak.
There's two of you, fight!
Okay, yeah, English. That's like the one check I'm gonna do. I can't tell which one it is. He doesn't have it in title. I just see it's one of the PS1 Ape games, the retro ones. And Clutch. Interesting sound sample. Yeah. It's a girl. It's a grill streamer. I'll send you guys over. Yeah, that's the Gasm. You know, yeah, have honk too. And we have clap. Very enthusiastic clapping. But yeah. I'm gonna set up the raid. Okay, see, this is no. That's not suspicious. If you wanna, I mean, yeah, I know it sounds suspicious, but really, if you wanna make it suspicious, you gotta do it like this. You know, it should sound more like this. You like that? Okay. I gotta probably TOS if I keep that up. And besides, if I kept on for long than 30 seconds, it would be unrealistic. Wait, it couldn't pick it up? Wow, this man. What the fuck? This microphone. The noise cancellation on this is insane. It's not picking up at all. I'm literally rubbing the, Okay, that is picked up. Damn, I didn't know it was that good. Yeah, I need to go and get ready. Yeah, let me prepare the raid here. And you could hear it just fine. Oh, really, Clutch? Well, I hope you enjoy that. And here's a raid message for you guys. You can copy and paste that. And yeah, we can... No, we can copy and paste that. You can send a raid message once you enter. And let's... And we are 69 people. Oh, we are 69 raiders. Perfect. That's the perfect number. Yeah. Let's go, guys. But yes, once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been chill. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it a lot. And I'm definitely gonna do more of these Sunday, you know, just hang out here, chill, talk to you guys, watch some YouTube videos. I'm gonna make that a thing every Sunday. I really enjoy this. You guys are always a pleasure to hang out with. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. It means a lot. You know, I'm glad I have this community. So yeah, I wish you all a lovely rest of your weekend and lovely Sunday. Everyone, each and every one of you, take care, stay safe, stay hydrated, and yeah. And I'll make sure I set up a schedule for next week's streaming. Gonna get back to that. And yeah, so until next time, guys, take care, everyone. Love you all, and I'll see you guys around. Cheers.